Welcome, everybody, to the Broken Campfire podcast. I'm your host, Andy. I'm joined tonight by Flask, Greg, and this one's going to be a shocker. We don't have John, but we do have Vito. I know, we're switching it up.
What an upset.
What an upset.
For the better, though, right?
There you go.
better.
Hello, Vito.
I mean-
I'm glad you could join us.
It's good to be back after a long hiatus. I quit
I
video
already
games
missed
for a little
John.
bit.
But yeah, hey, welcome back, Vito.
Yeah.
John would say something
Tried.
funny right now about this whole situation. I can just
John's off
imagine it.
fighting
God, it's so
demons
funny.
somewhere. Hey, in this ongoing John/Vito debate, everybody has to take a side, and you can let us know what your side is on the Twitter. Let us know at Broken Campfire, or just send us a note. brokencampfire@gmail.com.
You can also let us
Tonight's
know
show's
if
gonna
you missed us on our big hiatus.
Yeah,
definitely have.
This is a big hiatus
Ooh,
for
I
everyone.
forgot about.
no?
I totally even forgot about the hiatus.
It's not just me.
What did you say?
What?
I'm saying it's not just me. We're all on a big hiatus.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Well,
Last
yeah.
pod was,
We all went on a vacation together. We all stormed a rural house out there in the
Occupied it.
Midwest. We occupied it for 5 days. Had a great time.
Great time.
I feel like there was plenty of video games played, but I feel like whenever we hang out, there's far less video games played than I expect.
There's
well, yeah,
too much
because, like-
chillage.
Well, the thing is when you're on Discord, you know, you do think about it. We do a lot of just like sitting and watching people play and just sitting and talking too on the Discord. You know?
Yeah, true. Or
I
you
mean,
know
we
what it is?
we just enjoy each other's companies. Plus, like for me, and I don't mind doing this, but like I was kind of like with you trying to help facilitate things. You know, driving to pick things up and everything. For me, it
Right.
was hard. It took me a couple days into the trip before I could really like calm
Relax.
down and like be like, all right, this is a vacation. I gotta just let stuff flow and not keep thinking about like
Yeah, for real.
supplies and stuff.
Not that I wanted to play more games. I was happy.
Yeah, I had a great time.
But I always find it funny the kind of games we do end up playing, because I always think we're gonna play like Cosmic Encounter, or we're gonna do a Marvel vs. Capcom 2 tournament, or all these things that we say we're gonna do. And what do we end up doing? What was the most played game on that trip?
Like,
Big Head Life or
Big Head
fighting
Life.
games.
It was Big Head Life.
There was a bunch of fighting games played that I didn't partake in.
There was some Tekken and some Guilty Gear.
there's
Guilty
also
Gear.
a bunch of cornhole and pool.
Yahtzee too.
I was
John
big
would
on
not
the-
stop with the fucking Yahtzee.
on
Wouldn't
the
let anyone play
cornhole
video
and pool.
games.
Yeah.
Hey,
We
I had a
had
great time
every
with that
option in the
Yahtzee.
world, and
I did too.
we ended up playing Yahtzee.
It was great, though.
Yahtzee was cool. My first time playing Yahtzee.
Classic.
Yeah, I had
Classics
a lot
never
of
go
fun
out of
that whole
style.
trip.
That's what they say.
Man,
That was fun. A lot of fun.
I don't know what we would do better next trip other than I wish that we could somehow predict everything that we would need to get from the store on day one for 5 days and never have to leave.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's possible.
I love the fire, but I'm not gonna lie. Like the game of like playing firewood got to be a bit much last time.
Sure.
I think we just need to buy a lot more than we even think we need on the first day.
We need to buy like $200 worth of firewood on the first day.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was a great trip. Really don't have a whole lot to say about it. We just some of the stuff we might say might show up as topics later on, or I guess we can get into some of the things now. I should have thought better about how to structure this, but we did
want
watch
to talk about the aliens?
The Alien.
Do we? Do we dare?
Starlink.
Oh,
Yeah, where we saw the Starlink satellites above us, and it blew fucking Vito's mind.
Okay, it blew my mind because I
hey,
genuinely.
to be fair, it blew my mind too. Like the way it started is Flask pointed out to me, he was like, "Hey, look at that."
There's a
And I,
line
like,
of light in the sky.
And I looked it over, and I didn't even say anything, but like my mind at first was like, "Huh, cool, the shooting star. Wow, that's so special."
It's
All my
moving
friends around a
up.
fire and a shooting
Dude,
star. Oh, wait, no, it's moving.
I just remember
It's moving.
I remember in my happy place, just relaxing, vibing, and all I hear is Vito. What the fuck is that? Like,
All right, the best part about this whole endeavor was after everything was calmed down, then Kurt, for like the next half hour, would like periodically stand up and point out a star. All right, somebody explain that. Come on.
And we were near an airport too, so we constantly see like moving lights that were airplanes.
I was definitely downplaying even how surprised I was about that. Not that I thought it was aliens or anything like that, but I did not know. I had only heard the word Starlink before. I did not know what it was. I don't know what it was supposed to look like.
Yeah, visually, it's a novel stellar phenomena. It's like there's a line of light.
Yeah, I did not
sky.
expect it to be so distinct. Yeah, I'd never seen one either.
Rare? Is that like a rare sighting, or is that something like if like you live?
We were seeing a bunch of
anywhere, you can see the
articles that were
sky.
saying, like,
yeah, I was
you
gonna
can see it at a
say,
certain time.
like
see it
when
pretty
I
often.
was on Twitter, I definitely saw a lot of like videos and pictures like
Check
that.
this out.
There it is.
Oh, this is a
So,
link tracking it.
Yeah, and go on this link that I just posted to Africa, the southeast end of Africa. This is basically what we saw when they launched. I showed a coworker an image from that night. And I was like, he has Starlink, and I was like, I've never seen one of these before. And he said that when they launch as like they'll launch like 20 or something at a time, and then over time in their orbit they disperse. And what we saw, like all those like, looked like
Little dots.
Spirit kept saying it was a sign on the side. I don't think that is what we saw. I think all
It
those
did
dots
kind of look like that, though.
It did,
looked
but I think all
a
those
neon
signs,
banner.
right? And I told my coworker that, and he was like, I thought the same thing, but each one of those lights is a different satellite.
Yeah, that's what I saw. I saw a bunch of dots traveling together. That's all I saw.
Yeah, I saw that boss, that space boss from Elden Ring.
It depended on the angle, Vito. Like that's all you saw from like where we were initially sitting, but like those of us who like walked over to like the pizza oven area could see like a slightly different angle, and you could see a bit of neon to the light.
Oh God, I should have moved over to the pizza oven.
Yeah.
For
Oh, that was
better
another
angle.
great thing. Thank you, Vito. You used a real ass pizza oven and cooked real ass pizzas.
It was amazing.
It was great.
I did.
Those are-
I was
all
a little
right. Don't even- you're not
disappointed.
even
He's all
allowed-
down on
no.
himself.
I don't know why you're disappointed. It was
He
fantastic.
thinks it
Like,
wasn't
if
perfect.
nobody
They were
does
not
that.
very. They were not very great. It was I had a
You're not-
very
you're
fun
not- you-
experience though.
I was gonna say you were not like this was not your house. We were literally like ad hoc running to different grocery stores that we didn't know, just trying to find shit. And like you were firing it up the oven for the first time that you were going to use it. You know what I mean?
It was a big undertaking for that many people,
Yeah,
for sure.
absolutely.
And I realize now that those ovens, you need a little bit of expertise to use them. Next year when we rent a place that also has a pizza oven, they'll be better.
And Alex was doing great at helping out, man in the oven.
Oh, it was great.
You
No,
can help.
honestly, I have so much fun doing that. Like I enjoy just hanging around the oven. Everyone's chilling, drinking. People are helping me out. A lot of people were a big help. Alex was a huge help. Yeah, it was just fun. I enjoy that.
It was a good time.
Good times.
Making topping dough by candlelight in the Renaissance period.
By World War
By lamplight.
One lantern.
Going over the maps.
Yeah. All right. Shall we talk about video games?
Well, there is one thing I want to talk about. From
Oh
the
yeah.
trip.
Oh yeah. Actually, there's.
I have some things I want to talk
things
about
we did,
also
right?
about the
Yeah.
trip.
My bad.
Yeah, so we're heading into the, it's been a hiatus. So let me just refresh people who are still with us on the format here. We're going to do a roundtable where we discuss topics that everybody has played and seen, whatever's been on people's minds, video game, media related for the last few weeks. Then we'll, for the second back half of the pod, go over the recent news. Curated this week by Flask. Thank you for that. I should say this past few weeks by Flask for since it's been a hiatus at least.
Yeah, just throw stuff on there.
But first, we do have a bit of recapping to do from the vacation, relevant to media interest for the pod. A follow-up to a podcast that Flask did with John, who's not here today. The Batman.
The Batman.
Me and Greg saw that at least. Vito, have you seen that yet?
No, I want to watch it. I don't think I care about spoilers because, I mean, what could they possibly?
I hate the Riddler.
I've seen so many Batman movies.
I think that this one does do some stuff that other Batman movies have not done. Not at least as blatantly.
Dude, this one was pretty nutty. I'll give it that.
But if you truly don't care about spoilers, there is some spoiler thoughts I have to say. I'm just saying. Now's the time to bunker yourself.
I'll bunker.
Yeah, I think you
What?
should.
Bye.
No. Oh.
Whoops.
What?
Okay.
Spoilers for The Batman until 2207.
That was a great movie. I really enjoyed it.
Now, was it better or worse on the slats of a side of a house?
It was definitely. I feel like the reason I can give. We watched
What does
it
that mean?
at the Gamercation. First off, outside on the porch, projecting against the side of a house without a screen. And I saw it from an angle, and the house had these like slats, so I could barely decipher the screen.
It would like
So,
scrunch people's faces so they didn't have noses, right?
Yeah. So like the first 30-40 minutes of this movie, I don't know how long. Then my computer died, and then we had to
I
figure
was
out
so
an
upset when your computer died and everything shut off. I was emotionally compromised when that happened because I was in a perfect position.
You reacted by in the next place you just stood there for an hour before going to bed.
Yeah, because I was like, dude, because I knew I was gonna go to bed in the middle of the movie, and I was like, dude, I'm not bringing a chair out here because then I gotta bring that fucking chair back. So I just fucking stood in the background. And I just stared at the movie, and then I was like, nope, I'm done. Then I
I'm
went
not
to
gonna
bed.
lie.
Did not know.
I was dreading the tear down the whole movie because I was like, oh, it's gonna be so much work. I'm not gonna want to do it.
Well, I also was like, dude, I have to go to the fucking I have to go on an airport. Dude, if I'm up to like 3 a.m. watching Batman, I'm gonna fucking go nuts at this airport.
Oh yeah, that was the very last night. I forgot about that.
Yep.
Yeah, I was so tired by that point. I just went
Yeah,
to sleep.
I would have rather watched it inside, but the novelty of the experience was fine. After the forge, we moved to the basement, set up a projector, and that was actually better. Garage instead of projector. That was actually better, and it might have even been better still if we could have closed the door when it started getting real damn cold. But John was comfortably seated in his driving seat in his car, watching it from the.
So he was the only one in a car.
Yeah.
What a champion!
I was not going to ask the man to come inside, and I didn't really care that much. I'm playing it
Right.
up, of course. It was fun. It was fun that John was out there. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I
Honking his
completely,
horn.
I kept forgetting he was there. I remember going downstairs to sleep and hearing the horn honk, and specifically hearing you stomp your feet. And I was like, I think I even said, "I'm glad Batman showed up."
Yeah. Every time
Finally.
the Batman showed up, everybody would stomp our feet. John honked until it got real late, and then every time the Riddler showed up, people would yell, "I hate the Riddler!" And like Kyle usually or Kurt would throw like cans or something at the projector screen.
As you do.
At some point near the end of the movie, the Riddler is giving like a monologue or something like that. I hear like Kyle like whisper to Kurt like, "Are you done with that water? Drink it real quick."
The ammunition.
Yeah. But no,
But you
back
did
to the
rewatch
movie.
The
I did
Batman
rewatch
later.
it the next day. Yeah, when I got home from
Greg,
my
did
trip.
you?
Yeah, I also rewatched
Okay.
it like a week ago. I liked it. I basically started where I stopped, which was like an hour in, and that's specifically when shit started picking up, which is perfect.
I've never been like a Batman aficionado, but I know a little bit, and this movie felt the most like true to Batman, or at least the Batman that I prefer. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
it felt comic
overall.
booky.
Yeah, it felt comic booky. I like that Batman was doing detective stuff, even if he was mostly doing it kind of badly.
Mhm.
But he was, learning, I guess.
Dude, they got me when when he saved, like he got the Riddler and everything, he's like, yeah, we're done. And the fucking city, all the bombs started going off. And then it started flooding the whole place. That whole fucking thing was crazy. That entire like scene.
Yeah, they flooded Gotham.
They flooded Gotham, dude.
Yeah.
And then all
Batman
the fucking
mostly lost.
Yeah, and then all the school shooters started showing up and started shooting people. It was nuts.
I did think the movie could have ended better in a few ways. Like perhaps the framing is more persistent than I realized on my first real watch, but didn't the movie like kind of end with like all the cops rallying behind the mayor lady, and it's like this movie
basically.
Yeah. I didn't feel like that was a good scene because like the whole movie I felt like the cops were bad. You know what I mean? And it's like you don't just fix a system because you stopped the Riddler.
Yeah, that was
and a
weird.
School shooting. You know what I mean?
Like, because Falcone,
like
they said
hand-wavy.
Falcone owned a bunch of them, and then when they went to get him out, like there was all those cops that showed up. They're like, yeah. All right.
I know why they have to do it because like they just had a big blow and the movie has to end on like some note of optimism, and you're not going to find that with Batman. So you have to like have a different story angle, you know, to find that optimism. So like, oh hey, maybe the city is getting back together and it's rallying around the cops, but
Nope.
it just didn't feel earned or like something I really wanted to see in my Batman movie.
I mean, maybe they were trying to say that like this mayor, it really is going to affect change and sort of lead them to a better tomorrow. Or something.
I guess, but that's just really small brain, man. Like it's more than like one mayor. You know what I mean?
Are they
Yeah,
making a sequel?
Maybe they're setting her up to be Two-Face.
Oh.
But no, that was a minor nitpick. The thing I really hated about the ending that I was really talking about was more the Joker scene. Like that was was terrible. And I did watch the cut Joker scene where Batman visits him to learn about the Riddler. That was such a smart cut because like the writing, everything in that scene is bad. Like the Joker's not great, and the writing is like 100%. Y'all should look it up on YouTube. The writing is 100% feels lifted from Silence of the Lambs, like almost word for word. Like you almost can hear the actor for Joker like biting back from saying Clarice at the end of each one of his analysis. You know what I mean? Like, and the whole thing is about like, oh, you don't really care. I'm just trying to figure you out, Batman. I'm just trying to figure out Clarice. But I'm not gonna like. I kind of just go on a rant there. Obviously, that's not against the movie. That scene was literally cut.
Yeah. Smart decision.
Oh man, I don't even know what to say. Like it was a great movie overall. I liked it. Robin Pattinson was a good Batman. And I say there's not much to say because like I did listen to your podcast, so I don't have a whole lot to follow.
Yeah, John already expressed his disdain for Barry Keoghan, so we're good.
Yeah, I agree with that. I guess. Yeah. I did like the whole I don't know what the word is, but the setups between Batman and Riddler. Riddler genuinely believing that Batman was on his side, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Batman just getting all the riddles wrong was kind of funny to see, even if at some point you're like, are you a detective? Like, I know I'm watching you do detective things, but like...
He's really good at trivia.
The scene where Riddler is yelling Bruce Wayne, but he, is just complaining about the person Bruce Wayne was good.
Yeah, that was my favorite Pattinson moment in acting wise.
Right. Oh, Greg, you got any other thoughts?
I mean, yeah, I like that scene with the where he basically kept saying Bruce Wayne, and he thought it was him. He thought he knew his identity.
Yeah.
But see what really got me? I was like, dude, that's fucking awesome. When he's like when he shuts the lights off, I think in the where the hell is it? He's getting shot at by like a bunch of people, and he's just walking through getting shot at, and it's the entire like hallway's dark, and you just see gunfire is like lighting up where he's coming, and just beating the shit out of people.
That was a cool scene,
dude. I love that scene. That was awesome.
Yeah, visually and sound wise, the movie really
I liked it.
Stylish.
It did make you feel like it was a comic book world. Like it really sold that feel. Like there was something distinctly like almost like edgy, and in a way that felt good about Batman, like decidedly calling himself Vengeance, and Batman being a label that only the villains gave him. Of course, like the answer to that is like, well, yeah, he's a guy who dresses as a bat. He's a Batman,
right?
You know what I mean? But like, still, I kind of liked that. It felt like a little bit of like almost over the top edginess that like felt earned within the setting. You know what I mean?
I'm Vengeance. Yes, I have the ears, but they're for when I want to headbutt someone straight on. It pokes them in the tummy.
I thought of myself as more like a bull, but these are bull horns.
I did like later on when Penguin answered that. It was like, "Come on, Vengeance, come on." Good movie.
Yeah.
Not gonna say like 10 out of 10. No, I don't. I think
Solid
that it does, like it doesn't carry like the cinematic heavy weight of The Dark Knight, maybe, with like the way that Nolan is able to like create intense scenes. You know what I mean?
Sure,
Where,
like iconic scenes.
But I do think I like it as. I do think it's a better Batman movie. Maybe even my favorite Batman film.
Yeah, I think it did that for me. I think so.
All right. Greg, are you tied up?
Yeah, I'm tied up. I'm all good.
All right, cool.
I've said my say. I like the movie. 8 out of 10. Would watch the sequel.
8, 9 out of 10. 8.5, I would say, for me.
Whoa, let's not be too crazy here.
I liked it a lot. I'm a big fan of Paul Dano too.
Yeah.
Dano's the mano.
We just delivered our ratings video and we're winding down. I think we're ready to move on. That was Batman. That was my big recap thing from the vacay. What about you fellas? If you had anything to bring up, if you wish. Other than what we brought up in the pre-pod, of course.
I guess me and 4 other people who I guess can be nameless, went to a zoo, a lovely zoo.
Oh yeah, I was there.
Yeah, Andy was there. We saw penguins.
It was your first time to a zoo.
It was not my first time. I've been to a zoo when I was like 3 or 4. This is the first time I've been since my brain actually worked.
Your first time to a zoo meaningfully.
Yes, exactly.
You could feel it in your heart.
Yeah, I could feel, and let me tell you, I think I said it. I must have said it like 20 times there, dude. Some animals are fucking humongous, bro.
Yeah, you seem to have a good time, which I was happy.
Dude,
about,
I had
let me tell you,
great time.
That was, as a guy who has young nephews and nieces and has been to a zoo or two, that was a pretty subpar zoo.
Yeah, it seemed like that, but
yeah.
Day.
Well, I don't mean to disparage the zoo. I meant that was a pretty subpar zoo experience because.
Oh, I'll be doing that. I'll disparage it.
There's an avian flu. It was a drizzly day. I will disparage the place for charging us $14 charging the same price for the experience that we got, where almost everything was closed. But still,
just because I'm stickler. Anything to bring up?
Sorry. I have more to say. Just give me like 2 seconds, please.
You checked out the meerkats?
Yes, I checked out the meerkats. I figured out
almost
if there
got
was
stuck in there for good.
I figured out if there was a cave in to just kill me, because I can't. I will not be able. I will not be able to escape.
Oh, that's right. You're in the little bubble.
Yeah, dude.
I encouraged my 10-year-old nephew to get into one of those last year or something like that, and he was like, "I'm too big for that."
Dude, you tell him nothing. Let me tell you,
he got in. He got in. He was definitely not too big for it. I'm just saying that was his first thought.
Impossible.
They should have one of those in like
Clearly.
the chimp exhibit. Or the
dude,
exhibit. They just start
I
smashing
felt
on the glass.
so bad for those monkeys, bro. Those
Those
chimpanzees.
monkeys, they look
They
sick,
were-
all those monkeys.
They were all messed up, and one of them definitely had like a broken hand.
Saw some shit eating.
Oh yeah, I watched One Piece with a monkey. That was great. Monkeys
was sick.
love One Piece.
They went crazy.
They enjoy watching One Piece while they dine on their own shit that is freshly fallen out of their ass, which is great. Great, watchers. Great watchers.
Took a bite of gum.
Took a bite of gum. Damn, dude. Anything else? I mean, yeah, because the bird flu pretty much knocked out everything cool.
There was a bear or a lion that you could like sit next to.
Me and
Really
Noxo were really bummed that the camel thing was down because we were
Oh, yeah.
definitely trying to go fuck with camels.
Oh yeah, you guys fed goats. That was cool.
Yeah, fed goats.
Oh, dude, I love goats.
Goats. There was a little
tell me
tiny
that.
goat underneath he was hiding from the rain.
Aw.
There was I saw a fucking like a full ass grizzly bear, like super close. Dude, those things, oh my god. Their claws are so fucking humongous, like up close, like super close to you. That thing could smack your fucking head off, bro. Never in my life would I go out in the woods. Thank God I live in a modern society, dude. I'd be dead. I would be killed if I'm sent out into the wild.
Yeah, no, I don't fuck with bears.
Yeah, bears like when you see them closer up, they just feel a lot bigger than you thought they were.
Yeah,
Even though
dude.
you
Like,
knew
I was
they
like,
were
I knew,
big.
but like
You
I
knew
knew
that-
bigs
you knew
are
they were
bears,
big.
or bears are big. But dude, they're fucking big.
You don't feel it when you see them like on images and stuff.
That's
you know what I mean?
That's a great example. I knew some animals are big, but seeing them like up close, you're like, damn, dude, that's fucking actually big.
You saw a little bit of an aquarium. That was cool.
Yeah, that was all right. I really think the whole takeaway was that my love for penguins. I really should have.
Yeah.
I should have gotten into that tank and taken one of those penguins home.
The Baltimore Zoo does like penguin shows like 4 or 5 times a day. It's pretty cool.
Oh, I'd have to go back see that if I ever went to Baltimore again.
Yeah, just go up to Baltimore, stop by the zoo, head down to the aquarium, make a nice day of it.
There you go.
New.
But yeah, that we had oh yeah, when we came back from the zoo, there was a restaurant we passed that I didn't know was a restaurant, and I didn't even know it was a real place. It was called Big Boy.
Oh yeah. That was all right.
Classic
Yeah,
chain
it was
that
all
has
right.
gone downhill.
I was pretty hungry at that point, so it tasted pretty good to me. But
It was all right. That's it. But I didn't know that place was real. I thought it was like an Austin Bowers like meme.
Oh,
And I saw it, I was
Yeah,
like, what
it's
the
real.
fuck? That was cool.
cool.
Oh, that's it. That's all I got. That's all I got for that trip.
Cool. Flask, Vito, anything you guys want to bring up?
no. We sort of like
Hit the highlights.
hit highlights.
I had a fantastic time.
It's a great
with
time.
our friends. There's fucking 14 of us. We did a good job getting everybody out there. I had a great time, and I don't know how interested anybody listening to to this will. Jesus, that was a jumbo of words. You get what I'm saying. I don't know if anybody will find our time.
That's
super
why
interesting.
we're talking about the content. We're not talking about.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it was cool. We watched that one weird movie, Phenomena.
Oh, I forgot we
Oh
did
yeah,
that.
Jennifer Connelly in Phenomena from the '85.
That was the first night.
That was such a weird fucking movie. Like I appreciate that movie in a lot of ways, and at the same time was crazy bored watching that movie.
I thought the movie was cool. I like
No,
it.
I didn't. I really did think it was cool.
But it
I know
was-
that's a weird take.
but I mean, it was also. But I mean, it was also like midnight on a travel day. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It probably would have been hard to enjoy almost anything at that point.
Yeah, it was also. It was a little slow, but I might check that movie out again, in a different mindset. I think I would.
If only
I would
for the
appreciate it a little
monkey,
more.
the
And
essential
Iron
monkey
Maiden
character.
soundtrack.
And the Iron Maiden soundtrack.
That was cool. All right, that's the trip. We'll move on to the roundtables. First off, Flask, you had something about John or for John?
Well, I just want to call the corrections officer,
Oh no!
but not for me.
Oh.
But not for me.
Uh-oh.
Just I
boy ain't
want to
even
do
here
this
to
for
defend
John,
himself.
so that I cannot let this stand. We can't let misinformation stand. Okay,
It's-
John, when he was talking
proud
about Moon
stance.
Knight, kept saying that Kevin Bacon was the bad guy, but really it's apparently
yeah.
Ethan Hawke, and I just cannot believe that he would make such a grievous error. Honestly, it's better that he's not here because we would just be, criticizing and riding him
And
for this.
they are not even.
mistake.
Hold on, I gotta bring them up side by side. No, I could see.
You can
them.
see
I
it.
could see
You
them
can
mix
see
up.
it.
Yeah,
I think I've made the same mistake before.
they're both like goateed actors. You know,
Of the same era.
Does Kevin Bacon
Yeah.
sport a goatee right now?
no, but he definitely has at times.
Anyway, I'm making that
I think
correction.
Ethan
for,
Hawke, I think they could pass as each other.
you
They
think?
could cosplay as each other for sure. It would take a little bit of work though. It wouldn't just be effortless. It's not like they could just put clothes on and call it a day. They would have to do a little bit of makeup or
Yeah.
something. But anyway, John, you are a fool. You
Yeah.
are a fool.
Honestly, I'm just getting that out of the way so that when John comes back, he can have a clean slate and
Yeah.
just feel good about the whole thing, knowing that it's
What
been
if-
correct.
What if we lobbied for a remake of Face Off with Kevin Bacon and what's his name?
Ethan Hawke?
Ethan
Alright.
Hawke, yeah.
Whoa. What are you talking about?
What
do you mean?
Did you? I think you saw. I think we saw that. Weren't there rumblings about a Face Off 2 recently?
Oh, is
Face
there?
Off, guys. Face Off isn't it Nick Cage and John Travolta? What are you guys talking
Yeah.
about?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
lobbying for a remake of.
Oh, with Ethan Hawke and Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
God, I thought this was another mix-up where you thought fucking Ethan Hawke was in something that he wasn't.
That would have been
No,
embarrassing.
no.
But no.
I would like to see a Face Off. Fun fact about Face Off: it's the first movie I remember.
That's weird.
Does that make sense to you guys? When I was a
Yes,
kid,
but that's strange.
if I had to remember the first movie I ever seen, it was Face Off.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
That's not a great
And-
one.
I remember going to the theater to
Or
see
is
the
it?
Iron Giant at a young age. I guess that's it.
Pulp
or-
Fiction.
To clarify, I was a young toddler.
I watched that at a very young age, Flash.
I never saw
All right,
it.
Vito, you
I
were like
should
6
never
years
have.
old. You were definitely not a toddler.
No, I was like a young toddler. Or why are you saying that? Because my
A
memory
young toddler of
wouldn't hold up?
18.
The memory came out in 97. You were born in like 91, right?
92. Oh God, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just so wrong. No, you know what it
I
was?
love you, Vito.
It was what's that movie? 13 Monkeys.
13 Ghosts?
12 Monkeys with Bruce Willis.
The
12
Bruce
Monkeys.
Willis
12
time
Monkeys. I
travel
think
movie?
I think might have been the first movie I
That's
remember.
also strange. These are
I'm not saying it's
odd.
the first movie I ever seen. First movie I
Right.
remember seeing.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
12 Monkeys came out, I would have been 3 years old. I had to have seen movies before that. I probably saw Lion King and shit.
Yeah, surely you were being shown children's films.
Yeah. Just delete this part of the podcast.
Vito, here's 12 Monkeys.
Let's just reset.
I know you're only 3 years old, but you see, this is the new science fiction film by Terry Gilliam. It's starring Bruce Willis.
All right, to clarify, I didn't watch the movie. My parents were watching it in the living room. I remember like walking down and like seeing it on the TV.
Eating crayons,
Mhm.
and that counted.
Just you're
You know
remember,
what?
like you have your first memories in your brain, or that was like one of them. I don't know why.
Maybe that's why you are the way you are, you know? your first watch as a movie, you came down the stairs and saw your parent watching it, and now you're like, oh, I saw 12 Monkeys.
No, I didn't. I did see 12 Monkeys eventually, but not when I was 3 years old.
It established a precedent that Vito never.
Everybody, it
shook.
makes sense. All right.
Never shook.
Flask, was that, sorry, corrections officer, was that your only thing for John?
Yeah.
All right.
For his beloved sake.
I will pick up the mantle of the Roundtable then and continue. In Weird West, I'm near the end, but I'm a little worried because I did some shuffling around of my games. I'm a little worried that when I launch it, I'm going to find that my save is deleted. I hope not. At the same time, the vacation kind of forced me to step away. I'm kind of fine with, like, not finish this game now, because I spoke quite a bit about it earlier, and, you know, really is like an early access game, or at least it felt like that way when I was playing it. I'd be fine coming back to it in like a year and playing through it again.
Yeah, so that actually raises a question. Like, is there such a narrative through line that you feel like compelled to see the ending to the entire game? Because
I wouldn't
going through
say
multiple
so. Not at
characters.
this point, because like I think perhaps, well, this isn't really a spoiler, but I think perhaps like the meta story that like ties these characters together is mostly told between characters, like during the character transition. And I think the fifth and final character is where it's supposed to like really bring everything together. Not to say that they are totally disparate, because I can see like
Right.
how they could be connected together. Just anyway. And I think I wasn't quite there where it was about to tie everything together and like get to the big final part. That it was like, you know, like the game was not necessarily stringing you along on the overarching narrative. Like you were definitely there for the individual stories, I guess is the simple way to put it.
That's what I would have thought, honestly.
And I experienced 4 of those of the 5, and I think the 5th one, I'm not sure, but I think the 5th one is probably more there to facilitate getting you to the ending, because I had the feeling it was going to be a much shorter adventure that had more consequence than others, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I continue playing Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. I think I started talking about that.
You did.
I'm really enjoying it still. I've gotten to the point in the game now where I have all the abilities unlocked. And fortunately, there's still some game left. Like when I had all the abilities unlocked, I chapter progress. I was only like maybe 60% of the way through the chapters. So, that's good because the gameplay feels so much better now that everything's unlocked. Not that like it ever felt bad, but like I got a little. It felt a little slow at some point. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't able to be as versatile as I knew I could be. Because you can see like where things are going from pretty early on. You can see the direction the gameplay is going to go and how it's going to feel. But when it gets there, it feels really great. And the story, it really is like very top notch, extremely well told. The presentation's like fantastic, and I'm really enjoying the writing. The character and family themes that it's hitting are really cool. I really like the. Without spoiling, I'll just say because I know you play a Flask. I thought that Drax's whole arc in the middle of the game was really compelling. For example, that was really cool.
Are you able to?
Sorry,
are you able to make a comparison with that game to like Fallen Order?
Sure. And that's kind of like this game is what it is, and I'm gonna say this thing that sounds like a negative about the game, but I'd like to frame it as just like defining what the game isn't and what it is. The game is extremely linear, like to the point where there is almost no freeform exploration outside of like pretty small rooms. And it got a little frustrating to me because the game looks beautiful, but the cost it pays for that is that it has to be super linear and load and unload between each zone, which you don't see. But what it means is that you might be kind of forced into a cutscene where your character slides down a ramp before you can go get that collectible that you know is up there, and there's no way to get back. That happened to me so many times throughout that game. To the point where I just like stopped caring about collectibles, really. I mean, I'll get them if I could, but like after like the 3rd or 4th time where I'd been forced away from one, I was like, fuck you, come on.
Right.
I'm sure that there was a better way to go about it, but that was my experience. It's almost too linear to that point. You're always moving between cutscenes in a sense, but the gameplay segments are substantial. I'm not just saying, you know, there's like 5 minutes of gameplay for a cutscene.
Although I did sort of get to the point where I was a little bit sick of going through a pretty corridor and then landing in a metal room and fighting a bunch of guys and then going to the next pretty corridor.
Right. I can definitely feel a bit of that. I'm having a lot of fun though. I'm just saying, like,
yes,
yeah, you can see, all right, this is a game I'm playing, and this is the design of the game, the fabric of it.
So yeah, there's definitely not the Fallen Order like areas to explore and tackle in different ways.
There is a lot of cool character interactions. Is still my favorite thing about it, and I like how the character is, or the team is, growing throughout the game too.
Right, that they're still, you know, developing as a team and as people towards,
right,
you know, interacting with each other.
Right. You can definitely feel it more than the game tells you it's happening, which is a great showcase of the writing.
Well, with the amount they never shut up, surely eventually they develop bonds. They just have to at some point talking to each other.
They just have to. That is a good point though. Like, they are constantly talking, which is great because it's all like unique dialogue. But like,
it's insane the amount of dialogue.
Exactly, it is insane. Like the amount of dialogue and like the amount of good music and everything. Like they spent a lot of money on like the production of this game. You know what I mean? Whenever you're walking through like a hallway exploring stuff, there's always people yelling at you, and it's funny because sometimes like the game was almost poking fun at itself because like Gamora will be like yelling at Peter, "There's nothing over there. Why are you over there?" And then Peter will be like, "I gotta check," and it's like, well, yeah, that's what I would say to her.
You do gotta check. There's a box with some crystals in it.
It's a pretty savvy game.
I do just hope that you know, they work on their not cutting each other off technology, because that does present an issue sometimes when actions and certain new dialogue can cut off running dialogue and it gets all chopped up.
It does, and it makes you kind of feel like do I need to be like moving slower to my destinations?
Yeah. Crawling along just to hear all the dialogue play out.
Which I would do, you know. I almost wish that like it was more obvious. Like, and I know this would be annoying in a different way, but like it's almost like you want to like hit the Y button to go into cutscene. You know what I mean?
Right.
I really enjoy the huddle moments. That's like one cool mechanic in this game that feels kind of gimmicky but works for me, where as you're fighting with your team and stuff, you're kind of like building like momentum. It's like a different meter, and when you get to the max, you can call everybody in for a huddle, and everybody will be like, "Oh, Peter, we're getting really wasted out there. Like, these guys are something
out
else."
there, Pete.
And then you have a dialogue choice based on what they said to respond to inspire them and amp them up. And if you get it right, like everybody has no cooldowns for a bit, and it plays one of the unique songs from the game's soundtrack. Like one of my favorites was like an early on one when I did that, and Starship, We Built This City, started playing, and I was like, oh fuck yeah! And I finished out this boss with that rocking in the background. I love those huddle moments. The game feels cool and frenetic to play. Like, it feels great.
I was just going to ask that dialogue decision, is there anything that helps you know which one is the correct one to pick, or is it like random basically?
Oh, 100%. Like, it's pretty easy to know every time once you know what you're looking for. I won't say what those are, but because it's part of the discovery experience, but
sweet.
You will not get it wrong once you know what to look for. But yeah, that's Guardians. You know, I'll save more thoughts on that until I finish the game. I'm chapter 13 or 14, so I think I'm a few away from the end yet.
Cool. I'm excited to get to it.
Finally, game-wise, I started Citizen Sleeper, and I played a couple hours of that so far, and I'm really enjoying it. Really cool. I'm liking
here we go. Shill game.
Tabletop board game-like mechanics, and I'm liking the prose. I'll wait until I play more to finish it because I hear it's a pretty short game.
Oh,
So maybe-
okay. Gee, prose, like prose.
Yeah, like the
Okay.
actual writing. Yeah,
I was like, there are pros, but are there also cons?
no, I'm enjoying like the writing, and I kind of
Yeah.
distinguish that from like the big writing because I'm not saying it's not going anywhere because I'm really enjoying almost all the writing so far. But if you read some reviews, people might point out that it doesn't always feel original, and that's fair. Like, the plot of the game is that you are a sleeper. A sleeper is an entity in a robot body working for a corporation on an off-world. You've become a sleeper because you as a person have agreed to let your brain be uploaded into the sleeper for a chance at a new life off-world while you are no longer a legal person. You are an entity owned by this corporation. The game starts as you have just finished escaping your corporation after learning it was all lies and you've been overworked and everything, and landing on the Eye, which is kind of like this independent rogue space station. Rogue is not the right word because like it's not like an enemy of anybody, but you know, it's like it's a place where like ne'er-do-wells go and like the losers and outcasts go to like, you know, retreat, find safety, try to build a new life and that kind of thing.
Independent harbor of sorts.
Right. A friend of mine who like heard about the premise described it in a way that like might appeal to some cyberpunk people, but if you have ever read Neuromancer, the Eye gives you feelings of like Villa Straylight, that complex where like you can be free, that's above all the corporations and everything.
Hey, Greg,
Yes.
what do you say that when this technology comes about, the two of us send our brains into robot bodies somewhere and then escape from the corpos?
I already planned on doing that when
right.
what's his name, Elon Musk said he was gonna do that. Yeah, I actually do plan on doing that.
Okay,
When it's
we
available.
can help each other out and get to the Eye or whatever.
There you go.
Yeah, on the Eye, you are tracked by the corporation, you're being hunted, your body is breaking down, and you are grappling with who you are because you remember things that you can't feel because you're no longer that person. You're just a brain copy of that person downloaded into this corporate-owned robot suit.
And is it called Citizen Sleeper because you're trying to become a citizen, or?
I think so.
Okay.
Because sleepers are not citizens.
Right.
Sleepers are entities.
Is this the one that you said gave you a little bit Disco Elysium vibes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think that's still there. I don't want to like say that like it's making me feel the way Disco Elysium made me feel immediately, where Disco Elysium was having me laugh in like the first few scenes, you know what I mean? But it's very well written prose. And Disco Elysium is like, for me, an exceptional 10 out of 10 in video gaming that we'll see rarely again. Like, this is still a really, really good approximate to that feel.
It's
So
at least in the
far for me.
category.
It's at least in the category. It's at least in the bin, and it's at least a step above most things that you see.
All right.
And again, I'm saying the pros because I still haven't finished the game, and it's possible that the main plots and whatever don't go anywhere.
Right.
Sure.
That being said, I'm genuinely interested in a lot of the characters I've met. I'm doing the quests because I want to learn more about them, and not just because of video game brain. I want to finish the quest. You know, one thing that kind of put me off. Personal point of privilege. Not a criticism against this game because games don't need voice acting, but this game doesn't have voice acting, and that reason why that puts me off is because I really enjoyed the trailer, and the trailer had some really cool voice acting that was like character specific and specifically said some of the exact lines that are said in the game. So like I totally had the impression it was going to be voice acting, and I'm fine that it's not, but it's like
not a great marketing tactic to kind of deceive people.
Yeah, it's a weird
that
marketing
way.
tactic.
It's I'm not even complaining about the marketing, and I'll post the trailer so you guys can see what I'm talking about.
But if you didn't see that trailer with voice acting, you wouldn't have expected.
Absolutely not. And it wouldn't have been a problem. But it's stuff like, you'll see in the trailer, the voice acting is often reading out loud 100% direct quotes from the game, and a lot of it's just like introduction to a few characters. So when I've met these characters and I've read those things out loud, I can hear some of the trailer in my head, and I'm like, I want this to be in the game. This is it. It's a shame because the voice acting in the trailer is really good. I should say, like, it's not just like I need this read out loud to me. It's like the characters sounded cool.
Yeah, that is a shame. It's very optimistic, but maybe you'll get the disco treatment if sales are good.
And that's the thing.
It's only a 4 to 6 hour game.
Again, I'm not
possible.
Yeah, and we were kind of talking about this before the pod video, and we're kind of reiterating some of this, but I agree. I hope it gets the disco treatment, but original disco had what I did expect in this game, where it had limited voice acting, where every time a major character was introduced, usually the first paragraph and first few things they might say is voice acted, and very significant scenes afterwards were. But most of the text, 90% of the text of the game or whatever, was not voice acted, which was fine.
So you might have expected, like you said, just the trailer type of stuff where the intros to characters and such are voiced. And then past that is just text.
But, you know, it's a different thing to pay certain people to read aloud a thing for a trailer versus read out loud dialogue for a game. Even if it's the exact same word, it's packaged differently and that has different implications as far as pay and budgets go. And ultimately, I'm just happy that this game exists. So, you know, again, I want to stress personal point of privilege. I'm not knocking the game for that.
Right.
That being said, I'm only a couple hours in, and I hear it's like a 6 to 8 hour experience. So
I heard that from Vito.
I'm into that.
Yeah, I'll finish it up and report more, I'm sure, next week.
All right, chill. I'll play your game, your corporate little product.
I got a lot of games downloaded now, too, that I've got a new solid state drive. So, who knows? Maybe this is the year of the Andy. We'll see.
Damn.
That's about all I wanted to talk about. There's some shows, but I could wait until next week. I've talked a lot.
You better.
Now, we're at about a 10-minute resolution to the break. Who feels like they can do a roundtable in 10 minutes?
I can.
Themselves.
I only want to talk about one thing.
Flask, you said you could too?
Yeah, but Greg can go.
Okay. I was only going to give
Flask going.
I was going to get Flask priority just because it's already written in the document as Flask, but we can give.
That's fine. Flask can go first. I'm fine with that.
Jesus Christ! What do we do?
I'd hate to break up the
Flask,
list.
go ahead.
All right.
Now you've got 9 minutes, pal.
Damn it, Greg.
Better make it quick.
I read I haven't been playing many video games. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not in a video game phase right now. I'll get back into one.
Of course.
I know. I read a manga called Sumire 16 Sai. Have you heard of this one, Greg? Just out of curiosity.
I'm looking it up. Hold on.
Sumire
Flask is an English
Sai.
podcast?
Sorry.
English podcast?
It's got a pretty bizarre premise, but it's actually... Okay. It's actually pretty touching for such a bizarre premise. And I will say what the premise is. It starts with a girl on her first day of high school when she meets another new student who is a full body high school girl puppet named Sumire, which is being operated by a completely silent middle-aged man who never breaks character as Sumire. This is just another student, supposedly, who's going to this school as well. So naturally, the girl and everyone at the school are freaked out by this guy who's just like operating a puppet, claiming that she's a normal high school girl. But the principal, what?
You can continue. I was just curious if is the robot trying to blend in? Has the robot fooled the staff at the school?
Well, there is no robot. It's a puppet.
Robot, yeah.
It is a puppet.
Puppet robot.
So that's exactly the thing.
Oh, you mean that there's like a guy standing behind the puppet?
Literally
like
a middle-aged man standing behind a puppet, operating it and claiming it is a high school. He does not break character as this high school girl named Sumire. And so naturally
people
everyone...
People acknowledge that he's a middle-aged man.
Oh, yeah. Nobody's buying it, and they're all like, "What is going on? Who is
How did
this
they
guy?"
allow this guy into? How
So-
is he admitted to the school? Also,
The
what if he's
principal-
the puppet? You ever think about that?
Well, okay, no. The principal comes out on the first day and reprimands everyone for being so mean to Sumire, and basically insists that everyone treat her normally and like a normal high school girl because she just is. So in a bit of manga logic, you know, like everyone in the school then has to treat her normally from then on. But nobody ever buys it. It's just that they were told by the principal, like, just be cool about it. Like, it's just Sumire, normal high school girl.
But that's not the whole plot of the show. Certainly, there's like other things happening, relationships, school stuff.
Yes. So then the rest of the story is about Sumire slowly winning people over in her school because she has like 100% optimistic personality and just like unwavering helpfulness and loyalty to everyone around her. So she grows this small group of close friends and improves their lives just by being their friend. And so it actually, even though this is a very strange situation, it ends up making these characters' lives better just by her being around.
Does it
So
ever
you have your-
interrogate like the puppeteer versus Sumire, like in a meaningful way, or is it just always like played for laughs?
Mostly played for laughs throughout. It never really dives deep into that, no. But like, it becomes, as you go along, you as the reader start to learn that that's not really the point. You know, there's no like, there's not going to be an examination.
It's not a mystery.
Yeah, it's not a mystery to solve. Instead, you have your classic bonding high school characters, but at the center of it is this stoic middle-aged man who's portraying a happy-go-lucky puppet. And what's great about
it seems like a gimmick. It seems like a high school show with a gimmick that's not ever like addressed. Like,
essentially, yes, but the gimmick is great throughout. Like it never gets boring in terms of how they're dealing with this man operating a puppet. Like it consistently remains good throughout the entire rest of the manga. So it's a good gimmick. Like it's a gimmick that works.
Okay.
And because I think the important part is no one ever forgets that Sumire is a puppet. Like they are fully aware of the man behind the puppet the entire time. So even though the main group of girls come to treat her like a valued friend, they'll still readily acknowledge the man behind the puppet. Like if it's cold outside, they'll ask him, "Hey, do you need a jacket or something? You're shivering." He won't say anything in response, but they might give him a jacket to like, keep him warm, even though he wouldn't ask for it. And so when new people meet Sumire throughout the manga, which happens, even late into it, they're still like, what the fuck is going on here? And then, but like by this point, he has a group of friends she has a group of friends, Sumire, and they're like, no, it's cool. It's fine. So yeah, it ran for a few years. It's done. I enjoyed it. It's something a little different, definitely, but it's heartwarming.
Is there an adaptation of any sort?
Well, so it did get a live action like limited series, I think, but I could not find it anywhere. I scoured the internet. I would have to go to some Japanese site and like buy a copy. Like I wasn't gonna mess with that. Yeah. So if you ever want a heartwarming manga to read, read this one about a puppet.
All right.
Anyway, it seems like it would be good for an anime. I think it would make a good anime.
I was just looking. I was like, I'm surprised this didn't have like a small anime, even like one of those 8-minute ones.
I think it just is not like that well known. Like it's it was popular enough when it was out, but once it was done, it didn't really have a staying power in people's minds or something. As for games, I did start playing Lost in Random, but I don't want to talk about it too much until I'm done, which I'm not yet. But I'm currently enjoying it well enough.
Nice. You find your rhythm?
Sort of. I think I'm getting better.
I
at the rhythm.
started that game and did not play much of it at all. I was doing the opening scene where my sister gets she joins the Sixers, right? Not the basketball team, or I don't even know. I don't know sports.
Yeah.
But I did stop playing it. This was a couple nights ago. Does the game pick up as far as like it was a lot of cutscene and story. You know, it was the opening of the game though. There's a lot of exposition and stuff. But is this a gameplay forward game or is it like a more narrative? Is there a lot of walking around and talking to people and
I mean, yeah, you're gonna be walking around and talking to people.
I mean, that's fine. I just there's action though, right? And
there is yeah.
I was looking forward to like card combat and
yes,
and
you'll get to that. Vito, you don't get.
Yeah.
Do you even have your? Do you have Dicey yet?
No. Like I said, I barely played it, but I was getting vibes from it. Like, oh, this might be.
Vito, you need to
maybe
be
a little slower than I thought.
You need to be cyberbullied actively.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah, it seems
I will
like
keep playing it. Just checking.
Yeah, it seems like alternating between like walk around, talk around,
exploring some sort of
combat.
hub,
talking
to people,
and then you fight around,
fight around. Okay, I was getting like Psychonauts kind of vibes.
I've always had that kind of vibe, but just as like a general like cerebral 3D adventure game.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
with kooky,
but it's also kind of got
stuff.
like almost like a fucking Double Fine kind of look to it.
Yeah,
or like
I could see that.
Tim Burton.
Tim Burton. I kept almost saying R.L. Stein for some reason.
Tim Burton, Tim Schafer.
That's a funny mix up.
I was thinking of Tim and Eric.
Oh yeah, it's got like a Tim and Eric kind of thing going on. Tim
True. Odd and even, Tim and Eric.
All right,
Sorry,
but yeah,
Stein.
I'll talk more about that at some other point. I did give Slay the Spire a shot for the first time.
Wow.
I'm not that good at it yet. Why do you say that?
I don't know. Did you like it? You enjoying it?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
God, it would have been hilarious if you said no. How'd you know?
Well, I don't know. That game doesn't have like it's not narrative. Like there's no story to it. It's literally just let's play cards, and that's it. I love that game, but I wasn't sure if that was like your kind of thing. I thought maybe you needed like some sort of skeleton of a narrative to play a game.
Not necessarily. Mechanically, it's fun.
Okay.
I'm probably not that deep into what can be done with the game. I've unlocked a few characters. I like the poisoner character because of the passive damage.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a baby's first. I don't know thing.
No.
Okay. Do you guys have any, or those of you who have played it, do you have any beginner tips, like stuff I should be aware of or try out tactically, or should I just do it?
Yeah, I think just do it. Keep playing a character until you've unlocked all the cards. Like I actually, believe it or not, my favorite character is the first one, the woman with the first character.
Okay.
I know the poison character is a lot of fun too, but anyway, just keep playing until you unlock all the cards, because then you'll have all the options for different builds. Because each character clearly you could kind of see as you're playing has like different ways to go. Like that poison guy, you could do poison, or you could go another route. Yeah, no, there's I don't think there's any wrong way to play.
Yeah, I've started to
you could be a sweat about it. Like Zach's like pretty well versed in that game. No, I'm not knocking him. I'm just saying like you can be pretty serious about that game, I think.
I've definitely started to see how you can, as you're going along, sort of build your deck into different paths, and go for a build, per game. That's cool.
I feel like I play a couple games like that. I think the most important thing, as far as like tips, is like don't bunk up your deck. So like, don't accept cards that are not going to be very useful. You don't want to bunk up your deck. You want to keep your deck as lean as possible,
Yeah,
and
that don't contribute to your play style.
as possible. Yeah.
Reasonable.
Yeah. Have an idea of where you want to go, based on those first few cards you get, and work from there.
Sure. All right, so yeah, I'll keep.
I'd watch you play that if you felt
if I'm
like
not
streaming
embarrassed by my
Yeah, there's no reason to be
performance.
embarrassed. I'm not some expert in that game,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm pretty decent, I think, at this point.
Then maybe I'll throw it at some point.
I like deck builders.
Advise.
The
Just
game
don't
has a
want
good
Zaxxy.
mobile version as well, in case you're interested.
Oh yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, actually, I just play the mobile version now because it's just a great
Oh.
game to play when I'm like waiting online somewhere, or if I'm on a flight. It's completely offline.
I can imagine.
My only tip is when you get to the point where you have many characters, just don't be afraid to. Oh, I had a bad run. Let me just try with a different character because they play differently, and you'll find yourself naturally gravitating to one or the other. I think I preferred Orb Guy by the end of it.
Okay.
I also did not get into Slay the Spire as much as other people. I played enough to beat it a few times, but I wasn't into the whole Ascension. I almost never am in games.
I feel like that's entirely possible that could be the way I go. Like get to a certain point and just be like, oh, I'm good. I feel it.
Yeah. Nothing against the game. I thought it was great.
No.
Unfortunately, I don't remember how to mechanically well enough to like give you advice. Like,
Oh,
you know what I
yeah.
mean?
No worries. I still got to try those other ones, like the other games in that sort of genre category or whatever.
I don't know if it was just because I had just played Baldur's Slay the Spire, but I never really got into them. I tried Monster Train, at least, after Slay the Spire, and I totally got why it was unique and why people were really popping onto it after playing Slay the Spire a lot, but wasn't for me. Not
All right.
again. It was
I'll
a bit
have to
too much
see.
jiggering for me.
Okay. But that's it for me.
All right. That's it for Flask. I think we'll take a break. We'll come back, get a few words from Greg. Vito, you got a nice little typed out list, and then we'll dive into the news for some selected topics.
All right.
Stay tuned.
I don't want to be that guy, but you guys did notice that that wasn't even Flask talking the whole time. That was like a puppet of Flask, and there's just like a guy behind it the whole time, just making
What are you talking about?
the
dude?
puppet talk.
It's
I
me,
did
Flask.
notice that, but I really did not. I was hoping we would not bring it up while he was saying
I didn't.
it.
I was hoping actually he went to go get a snack. I didn't realize he's still here. Now I'm a little scared.
It's me, your friend, Flask.
Yeah, but I could see you
I
moving
mean,
the mouth when.
on the vacation, it was definitely Flask, right? Like the real Flask.
See, now I don't know. Now I don't know. I sometimes it was dark.
Do we
Did
have
you
any
look
pictures?
Closely. No, I'm
I don't think there's any
completely out
pictures
of
of him.
frame in every picture.
Wait, hang on. No, I know I took one picture of Flask with all the snacks, and I made a joke to Flask. Let me. Oh my God, Vito,
Who's that
There's
behind him?
there's a man there.
Vito, get out of the house.
But like, who's our real friend then? Is it that guy? Maybe that guy's really cool.
You just got to accept the Flask that you're presented with, okay? He cares about you. He does. I mean, I care about you. I do.
You want a jacket? You look cold.
I mean, yeah.
Is that Flask who wants a jacket, or the man behind him?
I was talking to the man behind him.
Flask
Flask
is there
who wants
ever a
the
point
jacket.
where it's raining and like the man behind him is not like using an umbrella, but she is?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is there really? That's
Yeah.
awesome.
That's fun.
That's what I mean by like the gimmick retaining its enjoyment throughout the entire thing. There's all sorts of situations like that where things just like, yeah.
But
It's
does
never
he
not.
ever? But did he literally ever eat?
Seemingly you would have to, right? But we don't really see it.
We don't see him ever go to the bathroom, eat, do any like human bodily
No.
functions that would require him. Like
He's like
literally
he's like
require
in the
him.
women's like locker room and shit.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's funny.
I mean, I guess we don't see her go to the bathroom or any other characters either, but still, you know what I
Right.
mean.
It's convenient.
But I imagine we see scenes at a food court where they're all eating and she's like putting stuff into her mouth. But
Yes.
yeah. We've got a hot heaping of Roundtable from Greg coming at you. What have you been up to
Oh yeah.
the
Sizzling.
last few weeks. Well, Greg, you've already talked about quite a bit. You know, you were on the vacay. It's
Yup.
fantastic. And I gotta say, that was my first time meeting you, Greg, and it was fantastic. I kept saying at the Indianapolis meetup, I wish Greg was here.
We kept
I'm-
saying that.
I'm glad I was there. I hope I was nice, and I hope everybody
Of course, I had a great time.
likes
with
me
everybody.
more and had fun and didn't. I hope I didn't sour a mood at
Well,
all.
hey,
Absolutely
I just want to
not.
clear the air. I think everybody's got insecurities and everything. I had a great time with everybody.
That's all I
Yes.
cared, because that's my big thing. Is I just all I want is people to have fun.
There were genuinely no bummer, downer, sour moments for me from the whole trip.
Neither
Same.
for me, so we're all good then.
Greg would consistently and frequently doom scroll Twitter to keep up his persona.
Did you see me doing that? Did you see me? I did that a few times, and I can genuinely say that there were times when my face, I would get pretty fucking dejected, and I would just immediately stop.
I was gonna say, Greg, like the only thing I would say is that like a couple times I would check up, like, hey Greg, how you doing? Just because I was like, man, I hope Greg's having a good time. I haven't really heard him talk in a while. But I think you were just doom scrolling it high. But I was doing the same
So,
thing. Like I definitely had periods when I was
a
just sitting
big
there and
thing-
enjoying my friends.
Is when I'm online, we're different from online in person. Is I don't talk that much in like real life. I don't like talking that much. But I was also incredibly high, and I was also doom scrolling.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I was doing the
And,
same thing. As long as
And
everyone was having a good
I
time.
doom scroll, I can't stop. It's an addiction.
Yeah, I feel you.
But yeah, I definitely. That's very funny. That's funny.
Keeps
had a
up your
good time.
cynical demeanor for us. It's your brand.
So
Other
yeah,
than
there's
that.
there's things I've done. I'll add more to my list, but I'm not gonna talk about it. Star Wars. I started playing yesterday or the other day. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh, did
I'm
you?
like 2 hours into it. I just got to the second planet, so I'm not far at all into it. But it looks really nice. It looks really good.
Beautiful, right?
Yeah.
One of the more beautiful games I've played. One of the highest production values in games that I think I've.
My one complaint, and I mean it's not really a complaint, I guess. But with the lightsaber, you can slice animals like into pieces.
Yeah.
You can't slice stormtroopers. Why can't I slice a stormtrooper down? Why can't I cut a stormtrooper down, dude?
I wish you could cut a
Cut 'em in
stormtrooper in
half,
half.
dude.
Yeah, dude.
That would be cool, right?
Like, cause you fight. My main thing for the beginning was one, the lightsaber stuff in that game is awesome. I love getting shot at by stormtroopers and just fucking deflecting their bullets back to them. I think that's awesome.
It's a good feeling.
Yeah, it's a good feeling game, but then again, I'm only like 2 hours into it. So
Did you So you're on the second planet. The first planet is Bogano.
like
right?
I think the tutorial
so.
planet.
And did you fight Ogdom Bogdom yet? The boss. You don't have to fight him on your first go.
The
through
final
that
boss of the
planet.
game.
I fought him. His
No.
normal.
Well,
So,
yeah, yes.
I know
yes,
the
the final
dude in the
boss
cave.
of the game.
The thing in the cave, right?
Yeah, he's in the cave.
So I fought him in the
Ogdo
cave. I fought him in the cave, and he killed me. And then I left, and I fought his normal form, which is just out in the wild.
Yeah.
And then I lost where he was, so then I just was like, I'm just gonna go. I'll come back here. I gotta come back here anyway.
he's kind of like tucked away on that planet. Yeah, but that
But
boss was
yeah.
fucking hard. That's probably the hardest boss in the game for me.
Oh, I thought it
think
was hard, and I was
that's
like,
crazy.
dude, this is kind of crazy. And then I realized, like 2 seconds later, that little robot shot out a healing stim and told me about it. I was like, dude, this would have fucking helped me a lot during
Yeah,
that fight.
I think I still had that in that fight, and it gave me problems. That fight, Ogdo Bogdo. The
was fine
greatest-
for me. LOL.
The greatest Sith Lord in
LOL.
all of the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, I did not do well. I did not fare well against Ogdo Bogdo.
You're okay, good.
Didn't you watch me kill him, Vito? I feel like I got him like the first couple tries.
I think you didn't have.
Nearly as
I
much
don't
a problem.
think. Yeah, I don't remember you having a problem with that. I think I also remember John like saying at least that he had no problem with that boss. I think I actually left the planet, did other things on other planets, and then came back, and then I think I wrecked him. But like my first pass through with Ogdo Bogdo, greatest Sith Lord, was very difficult.
I might be making this up, but I seem to remember John watched me kill him with no problem on like my first or second try, and then you joined afterwards asking me if I'd found him, and I said I killed him. You didn't believe me, and I ran back to the cave.
Maybe it could have been me.
Something like
something
like that.
He's a bit of an IQ test.
I didn't.
But for
you
force
know,
abilities.
I should ask you, Greg. How are you enjoying getting around? That was like my big thing with the game. I was not enjoying the level design.
Maybe it's the first level, but I felt like the first level felt weird. The first world, I should say. It felt
fair, I
very
think-
platformy, but that was mainly because a lot of it was those
there's a lot of
cables all over
verticality
the
to
place.
that first planet.
So I need to see another map, but right now it's all right.
I feel like what you're asking, Andy, he's incapable of answering yet because
I can't remember how big the first planet is.
The thing is it's not that big, but also it's a lot, like Vito said, a lot of verticality, and there's a lot of like those bars that grow across that you gotta balance.
You don't have
the balance beam thing bars. Yeah,
okay.
So not yet. I'm guessing on this next planet I'm going to probably.
I think Andy's like referring to just the way the levels are built, and you won't really know until you've unlocked all of the movement tech and those big fucking ramps that you have to knock down, but you can't even knock them down yet.
I don't know how to knock those down. The only thing I just got was wall running, which opened a bunch of places, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
It's just like a classic, like a Metroidvania where you're gonna get abilities throughout the game, and you're gonna keep going. That's something I didn't realize when I first launched the game. Like, you're gonna keep going back to like Bogano. Like, yeah, it's the first planet, but you're gonna go back a million times because you're gonna unlock abilities that let you go to places. And one of the things I loved about that game is each of those fucking planets are massive. For the most part, like they open up when you get abilities. You're gonna find shit. You're gonna be like, those planets are gonna double in size. As far as like the level layout, which was what I really liked.
That ironically, that for me, I felt like was the biggest thing the game did not have going for it.
Yeah, I remember us talking about it. Because it's not designed as cleverly as like Dark Souls 1, the level. Like, it doesn't really make sense the way that some of the maps open. But I did really appreciate. I thought it was cool. It was just more game, more beautiful landscapes, and viewpoint and vistas. So.
Let
me ask you a question, because this is like a minor issue for me, but this is like a me issue. Are there better outfits that I'm gonna unlock in this game?
Yeah,
like,
there are a couple outfits. I thought there was cool. I thought the customization was pretty fun in the game.
Because I was like, I found a few colors, and then they gave me like this jacket, and the jacket looks stupid. So I'm like, dude, this is kind of. I don't know, but then again, that's like a me thing.
Yeah, I don't know your taste specifically, but I do remember there was a few outfits, and some of them were pretty cool. And the lightsabers I thought were cool. Like, you could customize the.
Oh, I like the customization.
Yet,
I mean, I'm sure I can unlock more. I would like to unlock more colors for the.
There's definitely there's a bunch of colors, a bunch of hilts or whatever you call them.
Yeah, I found a shit ton of them.
And there's even more actually, which I won't spoil for you. But
yeah, I'm
some cool lightsaber stuff.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
Jedi Fallen Order 2 is going to be lit if they make that game.
I'm sure they are making
Lit
that game.
Saber.
Actually, it is confirmed they are making that game.
Yeah, I was like, it is confirmed the remake. They're making another one
earlier this year.
So yeah, we'll see. I'll probably buy it.
In fact, they're making 3 new Star Wars games, one of which is Fallen Order.
Whoa. Yeah, Fallen Order. My next thing, which is my last thing, but it's gonna go into like a news section, I guess. But World of Warcraft, you know, it's one of the 2 MMOs that I constantly play, and I can't stop playing.
Oh, we
Yeah,
know.
EverQuest and Fantasy Star Online too.
Yup, RuneScape, old school RuneScape. So yeah,
Online.
they just announced,
Maple
or
Story.
not just announced,
On
but
green servers.
on the 19th, they announced their next expansion, which was World of Warcraft Dragonflight. It is they are go as you all know, I'm sure you've heard me complain about it multiple times. World of Warcraft has sucked pretty hard wang over the last couple years.
Really?
Well, depending who you talk to. But 9.2, which released a few months ago, that was better. It was a step in the right direction. A lot of stuff they've been doing recently, they've been listening to community feedback, which is a fucking shocker. But there's a lot of new cool stuff coming. And then on the 19th, they showed this the new trailer. They showed some new stuff that was coming for it. Overall, I think it looks awesome. But then again, that's me. God knows if it'll be good. Because at this point, it's all just honeyed words, if you know what I'm saying. But they have like
Pretty
a lot of cool
sad.
stuff is coming. They're increased the level cap to 70. They're adding a new race, which are called the Drakthir, and they are a dragon people. Which is weird because we don't like have any. Those aren't like a thing. They just kind of popped up. But
All of a sudden.
they look interesting. I'm gonna keep posting in the
Oh
thing.
no, is that what they really look like?
Yeah,
They're just
My
like
issue
furry
is-
dragon men.
they look like Argonians from the Elder Scrolls, a little bit with wings. I think they look goofy, but I kind of like them. But I feel like they'd be a lot cooler if they were like bulkier or had more like meat on the bones. If you
Well,
will.
isn't this like exactly what dragonkin furries like identify as, like this type
I
of
believe
dragon
so.
man?
That is that is what they look like. But hey, whatever.
Precisely tailored
but they
for
have-
sexual appetites.
Hang on,
they
maybe
can
say
only
that
be-
wisely.
they can only be one class, which is the new class they're making called the Evoker, which is a ranged spellcaster and a healer class, and it looks like you use a bunch of moves like based off of like the dragon aspects, and it looks really cool. They're adding this thing called it's called dragon riding, which basically you get your own dragon and it turns into how to train your dragon, where you can like customize your dragon to like do having all these different parts. It looks wacky. That's what I'm interested in, really. I want to see how that all works out.
This is a pretty dumb question, but there are already flying mounts in the game, right?
Yes, there's multiple. Flying has been in the game since Burning Crusade.
Right. So
Like
dragons
they have,
would be an addition to that.
Well, dragons are technically in the game already. They've been
Okay.
in the game. They've been in the game for since the beginning, but basically in Cataclysm, after like you defeat Deathwing, which is like the main bad guy of that expansion, he's like this big evil dragon. All the other dragons basically use their powers to kill him, and they lose their powers, and they lose like their god powers, and they just kind of take a back seat for the rest of the time. But now with Dragonflight, what looks like is that they're just going back to being the rulers or protectors of whatever fucked up things going on in this game. But yeah, they have dragons. You could always been able to fly dragons. This new thing though is like it has it's like new mechanics and shit. Like I don't know. I have no idea. I'll try to find a video of it. So yeah, basically, so far it looks cool. They have a bunch of new shit. They're remaking the UI, which that game desperately needed, and they're revamping Professions, which that game also super needed.
So that's
Overall-
that's the ticket to bring back popularity. Then is to pivot to furry.
Pivot to fur. I'm glad that is your takeaway, Andy. Thank you. But yes, all you need to do is pivot to furry, and WoW's back, baby.
Blizzard's back
Blizzard's back.
in our good graces and in life.
But my main thing is I really wanted to put this here because we're going to be doing this podcast when Dragonflight comes out. So I want to have specific points, episodes I can go back to and be like, oh, how did I feel when this was happening? So as of right now, I'm hopefully optimistic, like I always am, for the expansion. I'm sure when it comes out, you'll hear me say, dude, this is it. WoW's great again, blah, 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 like I did with Shadowlands. And then all the shit and viscera will fucking bubble up to the surface, and 2 weeks later, I'll be fucking aggravated. So just, or maybe I'll be like, dude, this is the greatest game ever. WoW's back, baby. And then I'll, I don't know, shoot myself. I don't know, whatever.
Somehow I doubt it.
Yeah, dude. That's WoW. I love WoW, baby.
You heard
Hopefully.
it here, folks.
You heard of me. You heard it here for your first, folks. I love WoW. Wow.
Wow.
Say it with me, folks.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow.
I have one
Is
other
that all you got,
game.
Greg? Okay.
I haven't played it yet, but I think I told some of you guys I did buy Hollow Knight. That will be coming soon.
Oh, cool.
Oh, okay.
Great.
Nice. It's a good game.
It's on the Game Pass, but that's cool.
Or I can buy for $5.
Weird that you'd buy that.
Yeah, dude, I don't have Game Pass all the time. I don't play my Game Pass games enough to warrant me having an active subscription for that.
Honestly, Greg, I probably don't either. But
I get it, dude.
here I am.
I 100% think Game
I
Pass
feel
is
like that after a
awesome
few
and
months,
that
but-
you need to get that. But I personally don't play the games on Game Pass enough to warrant me.
I really
spending that
probably
on-
don't. Also,
Yeah,
1,000%.
I'm playing Celeste, Guardians of the Galaxy, and Citizen Sleeper right now. I think that's worth it.
I
But
think
I-
Guardians of the
I-
Galaxy
yeah.
is the big one. That's several months of Game
Yeah,
Pass
but
paid
even
for.
Vito, you play. What have you played recently? You played Tunic. You played a little bit of Tunic.
Well,
right?
I play is this a good transition? I've been playing a ton of Hades
Oh, sorry.
on
hang
Game
on.
Pass.
that
Real
actually is a
quick.
good.
You're done, Greg.
Yeah, I'm done. That was
Okay,
that's
go ahead.
a good thing.
Sorry, Vito.
But-
Oh, so go ahead. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I on Game Pass right now. I'm playing Hades all the time. I mean, I wish
$25.
$25 game. Okay, so that's that's not bad.
That's what I was saying. Just think about the things you've been playing. And the value
Yeah.
adds up more quickly than you think.
Yeah,
Lost
you're
in
right.
Random, $30.
Right. Oh,
And this
so
is
that's $55
Microsoft's
right there.
Xbox's Game
Celeste
Pass for
got
PC.
downloaded. That's Microsoft Xbox Game Pass for PC. God damn it! Can they please add time tracker for games? I mean,
Oh,
come
yeah.
on, that's everyone's favorite.
I'm sorry. Could I?
statistic.
I just want to push my way back into this conversation with Game Pass because I also have some complaints about Game Pass. One of my
app
main-
sucks.
Dude, that's one of my big things is I fucking hate with a fucking passion that app. That app sucks dick.
It does.
I
it does.
Oh, go ahead, Vito. Go ahead.
No, I was agreeing with you. It sucks, and I would accept a little bit of the suck if it wasn't, the guys who invented the Windows
fucking
operating
computer.
system. Yeah, like,
Dude, like
if this was the Epic launcher, I would be okay. My game crashes every now and then. A certain game doesn't launch, so I gotta fucking go to my processes and I gotta escape the Xbox accessories fucking
Dude,
process
a
or
big
whatever.
fucking thing is I own Sea of Thieves on the Xbox game store, and every time I try to update it or any game I own, it usually errors out and I have to reinstall the whole game.
Yeah, it's
I got
absurd.
so pissed. I just uninstalled every game and I bought them on Steam.
Yeah,
Sea of Thieves. I'm like, dude, fuck that. I fix your fucking fix your thing.
Today I downloaded and started playing Trek to Yomi, which came out yesterday on Xbox Game Pass by published by Devolver Digital. And playing it, and I'm like, I don't know, I'm probably like 2 hours in, the game just fucking crashes.
Ooh.
Okay, not that big a deal. I go to boot it up, it won't boot. I spend the next 30 minutes trying to boot the game, or not, whatever. I'm trying to boot the game. I go through all the regular, go to my processes. I delete all the Xbox, Microsoft processes, restart my computer, yada, yada, yada. Go to the Microsoft store, make sure everything's updated, make sure the right account's signed in. It's tedious.
It's a process.
Yeah. And then finally I ended up being able to uninstall it. It wouldn't even let me uninstall it at first. I uninstalled it, got it working again. And now there's other games that weren't working. I tried to download Citizen Sleeper. Couldn't download that. Then I downloaded it, couldn't launch it. Now everything seems like it's working. But anyway, just to add to what you were mentioning about Game Pass,
It does happen.
It does suck. Especially like for day one releases. Like there's always an issue. They never release smoothly in my experience.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
I do have an update, by the way.
You have an update on
about
what?
Game Pass feature.
Okay.
I had, while you guys were talking just now, I remember seeing someone say something about, oh, you can actually check your time with Game Pass games somewhere.
Really?
So I looked into it just now, and sure enough, I followed the instructions, which are needlessly convoluted. You have to sign into your Xbox account on the Xbox website, go to your profile, go to your achievements, again, or click on the game, go to your achievements again, and you can see the minutes played for Game Pass games, which you can then translate into hours.
I'm not gonna do. That's insane. It should just be right in the app. When I click on Hades, it should say right under the play button, like Steam. It should say 200 hours, which I probably don't have, but I probably have a solid 40 hours, maybe, in Hades. I've been playing a lot of Hades. I love that game. Hades is one of my favorite games of all time, for sure. I would if it was legal.
You're right, it's not.
Started playing Trek to Yomi. You guys remember
Trek
this?
to Yomi?
This is
Yes, I
the
do.
black and white samurai game. It is what do you call games like this? You call it 2D? It's not 2D.
Side scroller?
Yes, is it
2.5? 2.5D?
2.5D maybe?
I think it's sepia.
Sepia.
Well, that's the
No, that's
like
that's the
color
color
scheme.
tone.
No. I think it's black and white. It's not sepia.
I know.
It's not, but it's like grayscale. It's not like
It's grayscale. Yeah, well, it's
actual
meant
black and
to
white.
imitate, these old Japanese films. There's a term for it. Like Ghost of Tsushima had that one mode.
Yeah, like
that adds
monochrome.
the grain filter and monochrome. So yeah, it's that kind of game and that kind of story. And I played I wish I could tell you how many hours I played, but I think I played like 2 hours at
40.
least. And it's a 4 to 6 hour game, so I think I'm like maybe almost halfway through. And I really wasn't impressed, honestly. I haven't really been having a lot of fun. I started it and it's a short game, so I'm gonna try to finish it. It's not terrible. It's just, I don't know. It just wasn't really. It's beautiful. Like that's really the best thing it's got going for it, is that it's a good looking game. It does a lot with lighting. There's a lot of scenes where you're just looking at your silhouette and the enemies like silhouettes, because in the background there's like a raging, the town is on fire. See how the back is lit but the foreground is dark. And that's really cool. I think visually it's really pleasing. But the gameplay is you have a light attack, a heavy attack, a block which could also parry. You have a roll. I seem to be getting more moves as I'm playing, so that's also why I want to keep playing, because maybe sometimes in these games, once the combat system is fleshed out and you've unlocked all the upgrades and whatever, then like you could truly let loose and have a lot of fun. But right now, like it's nothing very unique.
Okay.
And the combat doesn't feel super satisfying. I don't know why that is.
You unlock the move that lets you enjoy the game last.
Yeah, probably. So I'm working towards
The
that.
grappling hook.
Yeah, I don't want to shit all over this game. I guess I don't know. I was just expecting a little bit more than just a good looking game.
It's funny that you say that.
You said this like exactly, Andy. It's just funny because I don't know if that's what you're gonna say, but you did. You kind of called this like when I mentioned the game like a month ago.
I don't know if I called all of that exactly, but I did say that I imagine just from the trailer that art style would get in the way of fidelity and like being able to like see things well, and like it wouldn't feel well. I think something like that.
That's definitely true. There's a few moments
I don't remember all that I said, but like everything you're saying is not surprising to me.
There's more than a few moments where a lot of the fight scenes that you're going to be in are set up like first and foremost to be good looking. So a lot of times, there might be some element in the foreground that's like blocking, parts of the fight. Or maybe the lighting is extreme and that makes it difficult to see. That wasn't a huge problem, but that is part of the game that you could tell that it was designed to look good first. That really seems to be true. Because the gameplay is not anything crazy. And the story is so far nothing special as well. It's pretty predictable, straightforward.
At the same time, I got to be honest. I don't know if I want to live with that art style for even 4 hours. Like, it's such a novelty. Like, I feel like I would get bored of just seeing grayscale. But maybe I'm not giving enough credit.
Maybe it depends on person to person. But I'll tell you the only times like kind of my eyes light up and I'm like, oh wait, this is cool, is when I get to some of these these cool stages where the lighting is like super cool.
Sure.
Like maybe like one stage recently there's a what do you call it, that very typical Japanese paper walling
origami.
And you're fighting behind it, so you could see your shadow.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
through that kind of like paper walling, and you're fighting.
You always see the sexy lady undressing on the other end of it.
Exactly, like in Austin Powers. Spy Who Shagged Me, I think.
Oh yeah.
You got to cut through it on the second row. I know what you're talking about.
Right. Exactly. It definitely looks good, but that's really all I have to say about it right now.
So this was developed by Flying Wild Hog, who are the Shadow Warrior remake trilogy people. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Oh,
they also did Evil West and.
So there's only a couple hours left. So you'll be reporting on it probably in a month or two.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just had to get a swing in.
No, that's a good swing. I'll be straight up. There's a possibility I don't finish it because I was like halfway through it. I didn't. I just wasn't
now
compelled.
Would be the time to stop. You've played a little bit. You talk about it on the pod. I mean, what's left? Simple as.
I don't know. I guess it depends on if I have a night where I'm like, let me just finish that game. I've also been thinking about jumping back into Yakuza. I think it's about time. I'm kind of fiending for it a little bit. I told you I started Lost in Random. Don't really have much to say there. What did I put on this doc? Oh, Rogue Legacy 2. Rogue Legacy 2 came out of early access. That sound right?
Yes, yeah.
It's
been in. I believe it's been in early access for around a year.
Okay, so just got a full release on Steam. It's on sale right now for $20. It's usually $25. I don't remember how much I picked it up for. Look, this is just a case of a game that's probably just not for me. I'm not gonna claim that I'm some like big roguelike fan. I don't know. I mean, the only roguelikes I really play, I play Hades. I fucking love Hades, and I don't want to compare these games really because other than being roguelikes, they're not super similar. But the things go on.
Is that the game where you like are your own descendants and you're like trying to climb through a castle?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're gonna go through a castle and you're gonna fight enemies, and when you die, you return as your progeny
with different like
and
buffs and debuffs.
exactly. They're like
modifiers,
random. There's
Right.
there's a bunch of different classes. There's a lot of cool things about this game, and this game I might warm up to this game. There's a lot of really cool classes. You got classic ones like knight, archer. You got what's it called? Blanking right now. You have a chef that could heal himself by eating food, by making pizzas. You have a duelist, a mage. You have all kinds of cool options, and then the talents. Your unique abilities are fun, and your I forget what it's called, but like you could have certain like afflictions. Like you might spawn as a guy who's got like IBS, and then you have like a poison fart like every 10 seconds. You might have vertigo, and in that case, the whole level is upside down when you're playing, which is actually really annoying. But it's cute the first time. I would never pick somebody with vertigo. And yeah, there's just you always have a choice between 3 to choose as your progeny. And so you try to choose whoever's going to be the most effective. So if there's somebody who only dies in one hit, you probably don't pick that guy. But that guy might have a 200% gold bonus, so maybe you do want to pick that guy. But yeah, you're going to be going through the castle, killing dudes, eventually maybe killing the boss of the area you're in. And then when you die, you have a hub area where you could upgrade it, and you can gather tradesmen that you could buy stuff from and upgrade your character permanently, things that will last through all your playthroughs,
Right?
Not just the
That's
current
cool.
one. Yeah, everything's cool about it. I guess the only thing I just didn't like is it just seemed a little grindy, because I mean, I don't have a ton of playthrough time, but 4 hours in, and I'm realizing, man, I've been going through the same area in this castle, just collecting money. I still can't beat the boss. He's still a little too hard for me. I've been playing this game for 4 hours. I'm still going through the same areas. Nothing new has happened. And that might just be how a game like this works. But, to compare it to a game like Hades again, which is maybe not the best comparison, but at least that game had something driving me. After every time I died, I would go back to my hub world there, and I would get new dialogue from characters. I would learn new things.
That is like largely unique to Hades.
Yes.
Like of all the many games of this type, that specifically is largely unique to Hades. Most of them these days have large scale meta elements, but Hades has the whole game of Hades is like many hours of dialogue and story and stuff like that you don't really see in these types of games usually.
Yeah. So maybe I'm just, these kinds of games aren't for me because they're largely kind of grindy, and I don't feel like just doing the same gameplay loop over and over and over again with I'm not getting rewards fast enough in this game to be blatant about it. You know what I mean? Like I want to see new areas, like at least in a run in Hades. Maybe I don't beat Hades when I'm starting off, but I get to the second area. You know what I mean?
I think it's fine that like your taste is maybe such that you are less inclined to get into it because and understand the mechanics are cool and you could vibe with the mechanics. And like, whereas Hades, it has cool mechanics. Maybe they're not as complex as a lot of roguelikes, but it does have cool scenery and like a great presentation. And
I feel like I'm making progress when I'm
and
playing
that
the
too,
game.
a sense of moving forward.
Yeah, and that's not to say I'm upgrading my hub area in Rogue Legacy 2, and there's a lot of upgrades. I guess they just didn't feel like they were carrying me forward fast enough.
Right, but like for you, I think you're moving forward. And Hades, it helps that like you moving forward gameplay is accentuated by you also moving forward in all these plot lines, right? Whereas like Rogue Legacy, you're probably just got the gameplay angle, which like if you're a fan of roguelikes, that's what you expect out of that game, which is probably like some of the friction you're getting from folks that you've been talking about the game with, is that like
they expect.
I'm not saying Hades is your first roguelike, but Hades,
it might be.
No, I think Dead Cells was, right?
I played a little bit of Dead Cells. I didn't like really get too far. I liked it. I liked it more than
Right.
Rogue Legacy too.
Right, but Hades is also like many people would say like one of the best of the genre, you know, and
Right.
it also has plus one, at least one level budget than most others,
Absolutely, yeah.
including Rogue Legacy.
Yeah. I don't want to fully knock this game. I might warm up to this game. I really like the platforming in it. It's heavy on the platforming. I mean, that's a lot of the gameplay is dodging things, jumping, movement tech, traps and obstacles. Even the boss fight that I did, and the certain enemies you're fighting feel like you're platforming. It feels like it's necessary to be platforming while you're fighting them, and
Right.
their attacks can be like platformed off of, and that's really cool. Honestly, the one thing holding me back was just that it was feeling grindy. But I'll give it another try because I tried to return it, but I'm past 2 hours and they denied my return. So I might give it another try.
Does the game have like the ability to get a good build going, or is there no such thing in this type
No,
of
it definitely does, but I only know that really because watching Zach play, our friend Zach, who's gone a lot farther, and Kyle, but definitely there's builds to this. I think I'm just very early on, and
Zach and Kyle are both very mechanical guys. Like,
yeah, they're into this kind of thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I saw there's a lot of movement text to this game. So like, you could dash, attack. I just unlocked the ability to dash in the air, which is, changed a lot already, but there's abilities that you could zip around. There's like there's definitely builds for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think I saw something in the game about you have something called resolve, and it starts higher than 100%, probably like 200% or 150 or something like that. And as you pick up, I think they're called relics. Those are the things that kind of, like in a roguelike, those are your abilities that you're picking up. Your resolve weakens and that number goes lower. And once it hits 100% and goes lower than that, your max health is reduced. So I guess that is kind of an incentive to pick and choose your relics wisely and not just pick up everything that you see. So there are builds, and you do want to be specific about, I guess, the kind of character you're building.
Okay, that's good to know.
There's a lot of cool things about this game. I could see this game being like, I report back in a month and I'm like, this game's tight, but it's also unlikely, I think, because of just how I am. Yeah, moving on from that. I mean, that's mainly what I have to talk about. I'll throw this one out for John. I started watching King of the Hill,
which you've seen before.
Dude, brand new show, right? Awesome.
Right. Yeah. No, legitimately though, I've not really watched the show.
Oh my god. I know we must have talked about this, but damn.
I've never watched it.
It was always a show
Really?
that, like, when I was a kid, when I was younger, and I haven't watched TV, like legitimately sat down and like watched TV other than like Netflix and stuff in like a decade. I don't watch a lot of TV, but when I was a kid, I turned on whatever it was, Fox 5, and I wanted to see like fucking Family Guy or some shit. And King of the Hill was like, the show before it or after it. And I never wanted to watch it. It just seemed like a show about like rednecks or whatever. And
it kind of is.
And that, yeah. And then the animation quality, I think, is a particularly like old school kind of, almost like Hanna-Barbera days kind of like animation style. It just didn't look cool and trendy and funny. But
it's literally just a better drawn Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, literally, like Hank Hill was a character on Beavis and Butthead.
I didn't know that. I know it's Mike Judge is the same guy, but I didn't know he was a character.
In that way, King of the Hill is literally a technical spin-off of Beavis and Butthead.
Oh, that's funny. They're in the same universe.
Well, I don't actually think so because I think Hank is just played as a gag character. But
yeah, it's like he's a gag
interesting.
character in Beavis and Butthead, but he's pretty much the same dude.
But yeah, I've been watching the show. I'm in season 2 now, probably finishing that up. And yeah, it's very good. It's really funny. And the most surprising thing, it's super wholesome and touching.
It is, dude.
It's awesome.
Yeah. That's the fun part about it. The deconstruction of the redneck aesthetic.
Yeah.
Like,
I didn't know that.
They're not bad guys. Like Hank is basically a liberal.
Yeah.
He just doesn't know it.
He just doesn't know it. Exactly. Yeah. Because he's still very conservative in a lot of ways. You know, he's afraid of anything sexual or
right, but he's not. But he's compassionate. You know, he's not judging people.
Yeah,
I've talked before about how that show, like, what I think what got prevented me from watching that show was, as a kid, I saw like snippets of it where Hank was being like mean to his son about something, and I was like, oh, it's a show about a father who just doesn't get it, or is like,
you're a loser,
not a good
you are
dad.
dirt.
And I was like, oh, I don't want to watch that kind of show, you know, where it's just like a problematic family or something like that.
You want a bottle? You want to cry, you little baby?
And it's not like that at all. You want a bottle of dirt?
Right.
You want
That's what I've heard.
Just a dirt baby.
Yeah, no, it's not like that at all. It's super wholesome, and you know, the whole conflict in the show is that he's stubborn, but he always comes around at the end of the episode,
right?
And everybody in the show is very helpful and compassionate. But yeah, it's a great show. I'm really enjoying it.
Have you seen? I can't remember where she gets in the show. Probably early on, but have you seen like much of Luann and her living with the Hills yet?
I mean, I'm in season 2, so I mean, I understand her situation, and yeah, I mean, she's great.
I think the whole Hank and Luann thing really like plays out, because you could tell that Hank is just perpetually disappointed in Luann, but he's still like 100% just accepting the role of being basically her father at that point. You know, I think I that's really good. I've always liked that character dynamic.
Yeah. I think all the characters are fleshed out nicely. You know, I like that they're strong female characters.
Yeah.
Like Peggy is like incredible.
God, I hate Peggy Hill.
Well, I'll beg to differ, Vito.
I mean, she's a great character, but I hate Peggy Hill.
I hate Peggy.
Why?
She's so annoying.
She's so fucking annoying.
Oh no, she's great.
There's an episode, and it's my favorite episode, but it has to do with Peggy, and I need to be there when you watch it.
Okay.
Vito, she's literally like, and her job is she's a white woman who barely knows Spanish, teaching other people Spanish.
She's a substitute teacher, yeah.
Substitute teacher of the year.
No cuatro. Can't remember what she said. God. She's got some good lines though.
Oh yeah.
All right, King of the Hill.
That's about all I got. Me and John gotta kill the devil in Cuphead, which I never really got to speak about at all, actually. But I'll just say it's an amazing game.
You and John are playing some sort of game here, and I don't know what your end game is.
Yeah, well, we're almost done. We beat King Dice. We got one more boss to go, as far as I
literally understand. One more boss.
Yeah, we just haven't got to, because I think we beat King Dice right before our trip. So
right, that's what I mean. Like you're on the cusp of greatness, and yet you keep alternating not being here, and it's like, what are you playing at?
Yeah, I don't know what my problem is, Flask.
Okay, well, figure it out, please. Get John in on that too.
Yeah.
Now that we can discard Vito's audio for the last 20 or 30 minutes, we can move on into the news.
Oh yeah, wait, Greg, didn't you caught up on One Piece, right, to the others?
I've caught up to them and I've passed them.
Damn. Greg has just been fucking marathoning One Piece.
Dude, you was watching him like on his phone, like in the cab and in the plane.
I would say I would look over and I would see Greg watching One Piece like a soldier.
It makes me question how much of that you're actually absorbing, though.
I'll be honest. I can tell you that there are 2 parts that I have no idea what the fuck happened, just because of all the chaos that was going on around me. But I got like a good
If you don't absorb
I know
all
what's
1,000
going on.
episodes, you're a fake fan.
Nah, dude, I know what the hell's going on. Dude, One Piece. When I first knew that people watched One Piece, I was like, yo, those guys they freaks. Watching 1,000 episodes. Why do they always want people to watch One Piece? Dude, I get it.
It's so good.
It's pretty dang good.
It legitimately seems like a show that I would like to watch and get into, but
Yeah. I literally started. I was just like, oh, you know what? I'll start it. I'll
You
see
know
if I can
what?
catch up.
I'm
And
not
I
watching
just
1,000
literally,
episodes
I
again.
literally cannot stop watching it.
We'll start the Vito and Andy watch, and
Okay.
by next year's meetup, we'll be where Greg is now.
Yeah. And by then they'll have made another 1,000 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're still making that, right?
News.
Yeah.
News.
Vito, they haven't found the
One Piece minute
yet.
is over. You get 1 minute One Piece. Jason Momoa is the star in a Minecraft movie for Warner
Holy
Brothers.
shit.
Directed by
What
Napoleon
is a
Dynamite filmmaker Jared Hess.
What is a Minecraft movie? Explain to me.
Dude, it's a
You
movie
would go to
about
fight the
Minecraft.
Ender Dragon.
Oh, and
Jason
it's
is
got
Steve.
it's also got Rob McElhenney.
Yeah.
Oh, is he gonna be in it as well?
He's no, I'm sorry, he's
McKinley.
directing.
Oh, interesting. I wonder why.
This will be
No. He is
A
not
child's
directing.
movie?
It is being
No.
directed by Napoleon Dynamite guy. At one
Oh.
point, McElhenney was attached. He
Oh,
no
I'm
longer is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get it
just,
straight.
Just to be
You're
clear. Just to be clear.
Misinforming the audience here.
my bad. Yeah, you're right. Should have read that
Minecraft
more.
movie is important.
This will not be. This is live action. Oh my god, what is this movie going to be about?
Maybe they're gonna get dropped into a Minecraft
All right.
world. I would love to
You
see
get to
that.
choose one,
actually.
Vito. You get to choose Minecraft, or you get to choose the Streets of Rage film that's in the works.
That makes sense. You can make something akin to a 80s action movie.
The script
Streets
is
of
to be
Rage.
written by John Wick's Derek Kolstad.
Hell yeah, dude,
That
that's
makes
going to be
sense.
sick. That's going to be so sick.
Does
You
Streets
could
of
do
Rage,
like
though,
a
even have
Warriors.
plot?
I think there's a thin plot. I'm
Okay.
sure there's a final boss. But you could do like a Warriors type movie where it's like just fucking 4 dudes or an Escape from New York kind of movie. 4 fucking people in the street. They gotta fight their way. They just gotta fight their way out of the fucking
Sure.
out of the city.
I
or
was
some
so
shit.
confused for a second. I thought it was Streets of Rogue I was thinking of. I was like, wait, what the fuck you talking about, dude?
I think both of these movies were all but ready to be made by the studios. I mean, they'd probably been playing these, and Sonic 2 being a huge success is probably why we're hearing about this now. Is that
Catalyst,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Sonic 2 is now
Yeah.
the highest grossing video game movie.
I hear it's really good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed Sonic 1. I thought it was, a mediocre but fine movie. It wasn't terrible. You know what I mean?
I guess. Yeah.
I don't think it was a bad movie.
Speaking
All
of
right,
movies,
Bad
Uh,
movies.
I'm
Nice, Vito.
getting some breaking news in. The Wonder Twins HBO Max movie Powers activates with KJ Apa and Isabel May.
Oh, Wonder
Riverdale
Twins.
star KJ Apa and 1883 actress Isabel May have nabbed the alien sibling lead roles in Wonder Twins, a live-action DC comedy for HBO Max.
That's pretty sick.
I
Those
feel
are
like-
those are iconic characters from the Super Friends cartoon from the 70s.
I used to watch that as a kid. I
yeah.
remember them. Yeah.
Definitely.
This would definitely work, right? I mean, you can
A lot
imagine
to
these two like
explore.
looking at each other and like yelling "Super Friends" or something like that.
Right, and turning into
Power,
like a water and
Wonder
a bird.
Twins activate
power
power of fucking a street cone or some shit. Like
Yeah.
But like, how do you? No, you got to make it work in live action. You do power of gun.
Yeah,
Actually, I feel like that was that's
power.
a bit I've seen.
I feel
Some.
like that had to have been in some parody thing at some
All I
point.
think
That-
of is
that
that,
might- that might
dumb
have been-
Family Guy bit.
Yeah, they've been
It
parodied
might have been
throughout
Family
the
Guy. It might have
years.
been Robot Chicken. I'm thinking of.
Oh, and they're also now it's dead.
Oh,
The project is dead now. Also,
it's canceled.
Yeah, no, it's canceled.
How was it?
Not very good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did you guys really just add? Okay. I didn't.
Apparently, this article, at least CBR.com, speculates that somehow this was scrapped as a result of the merger between Warner Brothers and Discovery.
I just found that out in real time. That was my genuine reaction.
Is anyone surprised though?
Did you
No.
find this out in real time? Here's a fun fact about your Elden Ring playthrough, Vito. If you, Vito, this is a good PSA while you're playing, and somebody joins your game, and you happen to find a pair of paintings on the ground called the Deathbed Smalls, don't pick them up, no matter how tempting it might be, because they could
But
get banned.
how are you gonna know what they are until you pick them up?
Just don't pick up any panties, man.
This is like how John got banned from Red Dead. Exactly how.
So
You
Yeah.
drop
No.
something, you pick it up, and all of
John-
a sudden,
John was banned for taking a deal with the devil, and we told him not to, and he did. And
didn't
sin was
someone like
greed.
drop
This sin is
money,
lust.
and he picked up the money, and he got banned.
no, what happens is a person comes, like a modder comes, and they drop a chest on the ground. You have to open the chest, stick your grubby little gross hand in, and you have to grab the gold and put it in your pocket.
You've never been
And-
tempted, Greg.
No,
By
I
gold?
haven't. On camera, on live audio recording, I would never
can honestly
cheat.
say
That that is disgusting and vile.
Somebody dropped a chest in front of you. You wouldn't open it.
I would never open it. But John, he would punch me in the back of the head, knock me to the ground, kick dirt in my face, and he would just reach into that chest and just keep pulling.
Well, it's a good thing he'll never play Elden Ring
Oh yeah, he'd be picking up panties
because
like
players
it's
are
nobody's
getting
business.
banned for picking them up.
The situation is now on the other foot because John, I don't think, would go for the
I'll
panties.
be honest,
but
I
Greg
completely
might.
forgot we were talking about panties.
Yeah,
My panties there.
yeah, I it's insane that there is cut content of Deathbed Companion Fia's panties. And even
What's the
more
backstory to that?
I don't know. Even
the
more insane
lore?
that it's getting people banned. It's a fun story.
One story from a month ago, I guess.
Say, Greg,
True.
what was going
man.
on with the housing lottery in Final Fantasy XIV that I find was broken, but a fix is coming? Perhaps it's already been.
A fix is coming. I don't think it is available. Actually, I think it was fixed. So they had a new housing district and a bunch of other houses come up with this new patch. And the way they decided for people to get them is to put up a lottery for all the houses, which means you would go to a plot and you would put in a set amount of money and you would be given a ticket for that house. The day came, the time ran out, and houses were awarded, but some people, nobody won the house at all. They went out to zero. The winner was zero, so nobody got it. And there were like complete plots that nobody won because it just like bugged out and nobody won anything.
perfect. That's like our real life housing.
But they did fix it,
situation.
and I believe next week, I want to say next week is when the next raffle ends. So
Okay.
everybody listening now, and you all here, I need you to pray for me that me and my group we get a mansion because I have been struggling to get a mansion for years, and I want a mansion.
Let's see. Donate my energy to
interesting.
John so that he can fight the demons and survive and come back to us. Or
He's done with that. He's hammed that up too much. John, they don't want to say anything. John, you're hamming it up too much. Stop with the demons. Get back to work.
all right, you're right. I'll donate my life energy
Thank
to
you.
your
I
housing.
need a mansion. Let's go.
Your McMansion.
What is the Final Fantasy community's take on the voice actress for the famous blue fox Krystal in Star Fox Adventures.
Why'd you want to talk about this?
name-
There's a sad face there.
Named Estelle Ellis. She played Krystal, and she is back out of retirement and featured in a Half-Life 2 mod.
So when I saw this story, I was like, "Oh, that's really neat. Like that's a kind of novel thing that a voice actress would come back for a mod for a game unrelated to the game that she was a part of." And then I saw the model that they're using in the mod for Krystal in heavy quotes.
I wonder if she even knows.
You gotta wonder, because this
She's
is
gotta know.
this is a sex model. This is a jiggle physics,
absolutely.
full on. Whew. Yeah. But still kind of an interesting, unique thing that a voice actor would be like willing to do something like that. And recording lines for a character that's not like she's playing Krystal, playing Alex in Half-Life 2. It's very strange.
I
hate it, but that's it.
The article made it seem as if the modder and she were friends, perhaps, or perhaps just casual acquaintances. But the modder apparently just was like, "Hey, do you want to do this?" She's like, "Okay, sure." And she helped apparently with some of the writing and stuff to make the lines more tone appropriate for Krystal.
I mean, that's cool.
Maybe she just likes Half-Life. And she's like, "Hell yeah, I'll do that."
Maybe she's really into the whole furry thing.
I mean, the line reads do sound good. So good on her.
Hey, in brighter news, the House of the Dead remake is now out on Steam.
Greg, you gonna pick this up? Or did you?
Yes, I probably will. I just don't know when. I don't know why, but this kind of gave me hope that another other arcade game, Ocean Hunter, that I posted about. I hope that gets like a release on the computer. I'll definitely buy that.
House of the Dead is $25 and is currently rated at mostly positive.
But like House of the Dead is like a beloved. It's like the premier light gun game, arcade game. I'd be more expecting, like, you know, if anything, it was going to be like Time Crisis or something like that would come out.
See, you know what would be? I wouldn't pick this game. I have a lot of time in House of the Dead as a child in bowling alleys and whatever, and I did enjoy playing that as a kid.
Not having the gun though,
but not having the gun is pretty whack. Now, if this was in VR, I might consider picking it up.
That would be pretty sweet.
That's how
crazy,
you make
dude.
an on rails shooter a little bit more fun. You put it in VR, then you have an experience. Otherwise, you're just moving a cursor on the screen. It's pretty fucking lame.
I have to imagine
look at the game. This game is in VR.
What
Is it really?
Nah, but
God, why would you do this?
That moment that you thought, you're welcome for that.
Well, no, but in that moment, I just felt stupid. I didn't feel happy. I felt stupid, Andy. You made me feel stupid.
Thank you for that, Andy.
Right, like because he didn't look at the
appreciate it.
page.
Yeah.
I have to imagine that some industrious modder
Like
out
I
there
said,
is
Vito,
eyeing
you're
It'll be a
welcome.
VR mod, I
Steam
suppose.
release.
Yeah. But you couldn't do this in VR. You couldn't
Why
do
not?
it because you don't move the camera. The camera moves for you. So how are you going to be? You can be sitting in your chair.
You couldn't.
You're telling me you haven't been teleported before, Vito, or it could just walk you there
it's
on
not like
rails.
that. I
you know,
think
like
it would
an
be-
on rails thing.
It would be nausea-inducing.
No, there's a on the PlayStation. There's a an Until Dawn VR game, and it has an on rails part. It's not a big deal.
Okay.
And I think it's also fine if it is a game that's just designed to be played while you're sitting in your chair, and they could totally do that.
Talking in VR.
Yeah, why not?
Because the camera, I remember this game, and the camera moves very like violently at some
I'm
points.
not.
Like,
I'm not saying this
well,
game.
all right.
Though. I'm not saying
It's-
this game. I'm saying like this concept.
Well, I'm saying with this
Sure.
game, like with the concept of it, is it's not gonna take the camera and shoot your neck up, Vito. You're gonna control your head. It's probably just gonna put you in that spot in the room, and then have the zombies come out, and you gotta move your fucking head to aim at them.
Well, that would be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not gonna be like just stick like a screen on your face and be like, start shaking you. It'd kill you.
Yeah, I just remember like this game, you'd move through a room and the camera would kind of be like, you know, a little cinematic where it wobbles left and right, and then all of a sudden it shoots upward 90 degrees because there's a bat
Flying enemy
zombie
comes first.
flying
Yeah, they
down
wouldn't
on
do.
you,
They'd probably
you
like
know?
put the zombie and it would like fly down or whatever, and you'd see it up there.
Yeah,
You'd
well,
see it, like-
well, I guess my point is that you couldn't do it for this game with that because what we're talking about is like a full. It's more than just a updated version of the game. It would
I
be,
was just trolling. I was
Vito,
just trolling.
They would not make you suffer like G did.
True.
Hey Vito,
Jeez.
this is something to warm your cold dead heart though.
Okay.
Skate 4 is going to reportedly have a mode that lets players create skate parks together.
Dude, I'm down for this.
Who wants to do that?
I
Are
am.
you kidding me?
I do. I love
I can
skate,
imagine
dude.
having a lot of fun with these guys doing this.
I used
Building
to
a
be
park
I used to
together?
be a skater
Yeah.
back in the day. I love
Do you,
playing
not, do
skate.
you have no soul? Like these games are
I guess
fun.
not. I don't know. You guys are all excited about this. I want in. I want to be excited.
All right, then.
All right. I mean, do you
Did
like
you ever
Tony
play?
Hawk?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
they're
was like,
all right.
did you
They
ever
were
play
okay when I was a
Tony
kid.
All right,
I probably
hang
wouldn't
on.
play one now.
I can sell it to Vito in a few words. You like Tony Hawk, right?
I guess
Yeah,
a little bit.
You can see the fun in it. Flask, for example, recently had a ton of fun playing the remake of the games on the PlayStation.
It was good.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Now, you remember those great times that we had building maps together in Halo 3 Forge?
Yeah, they were fun.
All right. Now, imagine you could combine those two concepts.
It's a cool concept. I don't know if I see myself using it, but
I'm not
Seems-
like saying
seems-
like, oh fuck, I can't wait for Skate 4 now.
yeah,
But
no,
I'm
it's
saying that
cool
like,
idea.
this is cool. I like this.
Cool idea.
I like the idea of this, and I do hope we
Sure.
try this out.
So going in the right direction, for sure.
Imagine Kurt's skate park, and you got to complete his obstacle course.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
go through the
Skate is the
tunnels.
game that had that other mode, Hall of Meat, where you would just throw yourself off and try to break as many bones in your body as possible.
That's Greg's course for sure.
So
Oh, yeah, I
I mean,
could see.
yeah, there'll be some insane thing, I'm sure.
Look out for the Broken Campfire Skate 4 collaborative map coming to
To a
a
box near
online
you.
place near you. Yeah. Hey guys, another great news. I don't know why I'm doing that all condescending because I did hear the first is a good game. There's an all new Tales from the Borderlands coming in 2022 from Gearbox and 2K.
I'll tell
It's
you why.
interesting because Tales from the Borderlands was not made by Gearbox.
No.
It's made by,
Yeah, exactly.
Telltale, right?
Yep.
I
will
just,
tell
I
you
just
why
found that
you
out
were-
in live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will tell you why you were saying it.
Condescending.
Condescendingly.
Oh,
Because it is being made by Gearbox instead of Telltale. That's why.
Yeah.
I really don't think that we should have faith that this would be a good game.
I mean, you're gonna have to interact with
wasn't
Tiny Tina,
their last game Tiny Tina's Dungeons and Dude Monsters,
which I heard was
Wasn't
not a
that pretty
bad
good?
game.
Yeah, I heard that was good.
I'm just saying,
I don't
Telltale,
like
you know,
Borderlands, but
they managed a surprise home run with Tales from the Borderlands. It was one of their best. I didn't love it personally, but I did like it, and it was undoubtedly in like the top 3 Telltale games that they ever made. But this is Gearbox, who, I don't know. From what I understand, they just got worse and worse at writing Borderlands, which is the thing that everyone liked about Tales from.
Right.
So I don't know.
Well, I mean, they did get worse and worse at writing Borderlands. I mean, that was the cardinal sin, is the writers just overindulging in bad ideas throughout the series. In my opinion, like it's the most stark between Borderlands 1 and 2, where Borderlands 1 was like a fine, like slightly humorous, Western themed, sci-fi, punkish action game. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And Borderlands 2, all of a sudden, was internet meme humor, and
Yeah.
that immediately, like, God, it was so bad.
I'm sure a lot of people are still enjoying the Borderlands games. People, indulge in that and like it for what it is.
Hey man, play what you love. Who cares? Except I'll judge you silently.
Oh, Greg,
Play what you love, yeah, for sure. That's just, that was always why I never was as into the series after Borderlands 2.
Oh,
After
yeah,
the first
same.
game, really. It's surprising nobody. The Batman is getting a sequel with Robert Pattinson. There's still another Batman movie coming out, though, right?
What
Is there?
Huh?
What? Really?
I thought there was going to be a Batman movie that had Michael Keaton in it, or had, yeah.
It came out in the 90s?
No, he's gonna be in Batgirl, or he was. Wait, no.
I thought there was going to be a Batman movie that had multiple Batmans in it.
I don't remember.
At one point, I could swear that this was a confirmed project.
I think he was gonna
we
be in
had
something.
That we had a feeling that like there would be like young Batman talking to old Batman.
Oh,
Maybe we were just wrong.
Who do you think
Alright,
the villain's
anyway,
going to be in
sorry
the
about that.
sequel?
I'll look more into that later, and I'll do a corrections officer if I'm wrong.
Okay.
Who do you guys think the villain's going to be for the sequel for Batman?
Speculation on the Batman sequel until 2/17/02. Well, I did, this, granted, this is not me completely independently. This is me like thinking about it, but also taking in a bunch of internet conversation. And I do think that it's really important that the state of Gotham at the end of, at the beginning of the next film would be like a flooded wasteland, essentially.
Killer Croc?
Well, either that or maybe winter has arrived and now it's all like a frozen Gotham.
And Mr. Freeze will come back?
comes out
God,
to
I
play.
would love Mr. Freeze, man. Mr.
Yeah.
Freeze is the coolest.
That was the most
you're
interesting
saying,
idea I saw.
You're saying we're not going to see Condiment King?
I mean, you never lose hope, right? You got to keep dreaming, or else we're never going to see Condiment King on the silver screen
What Kite
in all his red and yellow glory.
Sorry, I zoned out for a second. I'm not sure what's being discussed, but I have a follow up to the Batman.
Just go ahead.
Go ahead,
Just
man.
go ahead.
I am half correct. Ben Affleck and Michael Keaton will be appearing together in the same movie as Batman in alternate timeline versions of each other in The Flash 2023.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Which is never ever coming out. It's been delayed over and over again, and yeah.
Has it even been started? Production even been started?
I'm pretty sure. I have no idea.
Oh, apparently filming is already wrapped on it.
Oh, okay. Well,
The
I guess they've just been.
The movie's been in
Yeah.
post-production since October 18th, 21.
Yeah, post-production hell a bit. I'm sure they've just been like kind of modifying the movie over and over again, mixing it up, trying new things.
I mean, it's interesting to think about this movie in relation to the Batman. Like, I wonder if they modify, edit it at all.
Well, yeah, because it's still in the Snyderverse.
Anyway, Embracer Group, you covered that one, Flask?
What?
What?
Did you cover the Embracer
We were
Group?
talking about Batman.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about Batman still. Okay. Embracer Group has acquired Eidos, Crystal Dynamics, and Square Enix Montreal for $300 million in a deal that revealed that Square Enix lost $200 million on Marvel's games. Mind you, that this combined figure includes both Avengers and Guardians of the Galaxy.
So 300 million is like really low, right? For these properties.
I would say so. I think it becomes a fair evaluation when like you weigh the $1 billion continued success of the Avengers as a film versus the tragic failure of these games losing $200 million. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're saying that Embracer acquired Eidos, Crystal Dynamics, Square Enix, Montreal for 300. Yeah, that seems super fucking low.
'Cause
Guardians
all those
of the Gal-
properties,
Yeah.
Tomb Raider,
I mean, if you
Deus
include all the
Ex.
prophecy, Deus Ex, yeah.
I mean, hopefully this means that a Legacy of Kain game is now actually possible at some point. That would be cool.
Would be cool.
Revitalization of that franchise. Maybe Thief
I
as
think
well.
it makes a Deus Ex reboot likely as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think that team still wants to do that too. I mean, well, what do I know? I'm not trying to read their minds, but the next Deus Ex game was famously killed in favor of making Marvel's Avengers.
Right. Jeez.
Is that true? What the
Yes.
fuck?
Yeah.
I hate this timeline.
The
Dude,
follow-up
that
to
sucks.
Mankind Divided, which I didn't play, but I think ended on cliffhangers that were to be resolved in a follow-up game that was killed in favor of making Avengers.
Wow.
I just want to say Square Enix made this transaction to facilitate blockchain, AI, and the cloud. That's literally what they said. It will assist the company
That's
in
a
adapting
bummer.
to the changes underway in the global business environment by establishing a more efficient allocation of resources, which will enhance whatever. In
Bunch of
addition, the
buzzwords.
transaction enables the launch of new businesses by moving forward with investments in fields including blockchain, AI, and the cloud.
What does that mean? They're just using the money in those fields?
I guess.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez. Square Enix
These
was kind of a
NFTs are
mess for a
still
while
alive,
though, because
Greg.
weren't they like doing Hollywood accounting for all their games and like claiming that all their games were failures no matter how much money they made, something like that.
Yeah. Every game was a failure and did not perform to what they wanted.
They have retained Just Cause, Outriders, and Life is Strange as IPs. Although I think we just also saw that Outriders did not make a profit in the last year, according to the developers. So that's a funny little addendum.
Tough world out there, man. Competitive market.
Yeah.
Gamers just trying to game.
Gamers
Developers just trying to developer.
Dev.
Yeah. John's just trying to John. Actually, I don't like that one. Let's not do that one.
No Johns.
Yeah, that
No
yeah,
John.
that has weird connotations. All right. That was a podcast. A lengthy one. But what do you expect from the Broken Campfire after you guys I'm indicting the listeners after you guys have kept us quiet for the last
Yeah.
2 or 3 weeks.
Fuck
So
you.
Wow.
thanks for listening to us. We'll be back at you next week. Some things to keep in mind. Episode 100 is coming around soon. That'll be kind of a fun show. We'll have more details on that. As the numbers increase, right? This is 96, so keep an eye out for it. We also intend to do some type of streaming thing in the coming months. Yes, I know we're announcing a one-day stream event a month ahead, but hey, we're busy guys. We're, it takes a lot to get us together.
Gotta prepare.
The last word tonight, Vito. You've been back. Like
Oof.
you've been gone like a month or two. Like, what do you got to say to listeners?
Say something about crypto.
About crypto. Oh, geez.
The super
Now's
dog.
probably a good time to
All right, just cut
sell
it.
everything
I know where,
you
I know
own.
where
Good
he's,
night,
I know
everybody.
where he's going. Just cut it.
and buy crypto.
No, yep,
No,
just cut it.
Vito, the super dog, Superman's pet. What are you doing? God.
I'm trying to stop the podcast, but it's protected by a public ledger and a statement of work. Like,
That was too smart for me. I feel like that was a really good joke that went over my head.
I said it wrong, but that's the advantage of the. You know what? Let's cut it.
I thought you were gonna go for the more obvious, like it's protected by a chain. You know,
Oh,
it's blocking
no,
me.
I went for the advantage of the public ledger and how you can't hack it.
Right.
Psych.
Okay, now that yeah, contextually, I get what you're saying. I'm not that
It works
dumb.
on proof of work algorithms, which I said was statement of work, which is
Okay.
now the same thing.
Goodbye, everyone.
Now, I hope we've already cut it. Good night, everyone.
He said it again.